Coming live right now. Roll north. Welcome back. We are descending into Avernus. We're going to jump right into our recap. So, last week, if you remember, we were in the Elven Song Tavern.
Yep.
And you were there to meet with Tarina, the informant for the Flaming Fist. As you got there, there was a bar brawl. You went right in with Tarina at the beginning of the session, and she said, hey, there's some pirates after me. I need your help. If you want anything from me, you got to take care of them. Kill them dead. So you said, all right. You split up. You hung out in the Elf Song Tavern. You heard the Elf Song, a slightly different one than everyone was expecting. That threw the tavern into some confusion. You got some possible leads or information, hoping people have some notes on that. But that being said, after a couple hours, Deadeye Leckard, the captain of the pirate crew that was coming after Tarina, showed up with about 12 baddies. They swarmed the tavern. Chaos ensued. You managed to bring him down after a long fight. Unfortunately, Aurelius and Wildrose did fall. Fortunately, Egan had... No. Who? Wildrose. Wildrose had asked for the help of a halfling who turned out to be a druid of a little bit of power. Who aided you greatly. He thunderwaved some pirates, he did some healing, and ultimately brought Aurelius back to life. The scene that you're coming back into currently is you've dragged bodies into this side room in the upstairs tavern. Aurelius is just coming back to life, weakened. Tarina is in the corner, just kind of like eyeing the door, making sure no one else has come through. And you have agreed to let this halfling take some spoils from Leckard. So the halfling is looting the bodies. Meanwhile, your friend Wildrose had collapsed to the floor, her veins kind of turning a blackish color. And Egan had found that her weapon was radiating some powerful magic, some powerful injurious magic that dropped him unconscious. So that's kind of where we got to. Does anyone have any questions or need for clarification on where we are?
Sounds real simple. I wonder why I'm here.
All right. So, as you're collecting yourselves, as you're taking your deep breaths, as Tarina is watching the door carefully, and the halfling is picking through the pockets of the captain, you hear a gasp, and the gasp comes from Wildrose.
That's my gasp.
It's a solid
It's
gasp.
alive.
Not much alive, but thank you. Where is Aurelius? Is he okay?
I will be on the couch, breathing heavily, but like taking the yoga breaths.
Orin will have his heavy crossbow trained on Wildrose, because nothing that we did rezzed her.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's real strange.
Yeah. Eyeing over, you notice that her small handgun is now, while it was like radiating some energy before, it was like leaking this black ooze.
Yeah.
It is no longer. It looks pristine, clean. Her veins are fading back to a normal color.
So it's radioing, considering the fact that you tried to take the weapon.
What
and it's
is
still
Nick
dead.
or Egan
Nick?
doing?
Sorry.
I'm sleeping.
Egan is unconscious on the floor, not too far away. I believe that you had stabilized.
Yeah.
Somebody had stabilized Egan, not healed.
Not healed.
So unconscious for
D4 hours.
D4 hours. 3 hours.
It's a good nap.
What happened to you?
I don't know. It was dark. It felt like I was in a void for a moment, and I just saw myself lying there, like I was standing over myself, and I crawled my way back in. I feel like maybe something's looking out for me. Gave me a second chance.
Is that everything?
That's it. That's all I know.
Strange. I'll lower my crossbow. Welcome back to the land of the living, then.
Well, it wasn't. It was just a short vacation. It's like. Anyway, it looks like you finished them off.
They're dead, and we are not.
The halfling straightens up, a couple pouches full. Well, best of luck to you. Oh, I was engrossed. Are you okay?
Yeah, I feel a few bruises here and there. Am I back at full hit points or like at 1 hit point?
1 hit point.
Okay. No, I'm in terrible shape. But thank you for all you've done.
Of course, where the money's right.
Yeah, you've definitely earned more than your keep. I wish I could do more, but it looks like they've rewarded you.
I feel as though I've been fully paid for my services.
If we need to hire you again, where would you be located?
Oh, I frequent here.
Here? Okay.
But I also, anywhere else, don't really like people to know where I am. So so if you find me, if you're here and I'm here, then feel free to talk to me.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll be off. And the halfling kind of heads over to the door, reaches up, grabs the handle, swings the door open, steps through, and slams it shut behind him. Tarina is just kind of standing in the corner. Well, you're okay, and you look worn, but you're okay, and he's unconscious, but the captain appears dead, all of his men.
And you appear to be alive, which means that you owe us information.
I do. I do that. Well, before I get to talking, just in case anyone else comes, she'll kind of turn around and dig into a small box that was kind of stashed away in the corner and pull out a couple healing potions for the most injured of you. So him on the floor, and you look like you're a little worse for wear. Go ahead and take that. Just,
Oh, okay.
is anybody else severely
Thought I
injured?
knew someone else was unconscious.
Yeah, I think I just came back to life. I had very, very low hit points, like maybe 2.
She'll give you a potion as well. Healing potions are 2d4 plus 2 hit points when you quaff them. So feel free to imbibe your potions of healing.
If you sip them, they don't do nothing.
Are we? Which one of you is feeding me?
Oh, wow.
I am.
I'm
yeah.
feeding you.
Give me a.
Oh,
yeah.
Doesn't
tasty.
matter. I forgot my
6
pencil.
health.
A choke.
I'm just pouring it on your head.
And with that, if a couple of you want to go down and grab some ale, I feel that we should have the rest of this conversation over a little bit of that. She'll toss out a little bit of coin in order to cover the cost of the ale.
Quickly sweep it up.
Okay. You head down to grab ale.
I'll go down with him.
All right. Sounds good. You head out. Surprisingly, after the melee that just occurred, things seem to be back to normal. Chairs have been set upright. People are kind of like fixing them as best as they can as a bunch got broken. Dice or bones are once again being rolled. And it's kind of business as usual. The blood is being mopped up by one of the barkeep boys now that there's no more melee happening. You head downstairs. It's kind of the same. the half ogre is replacing the door and kind of fixing it up, getting everything resituated as it had been first kicked in and then blasted by a thunder wave. But yeah.
Shall we do tea again, or shall we do something a bit stronger for the victory that we had?
I will be drinking tea. 7 ales and a tea, please. And as I approach the bar, I'll say that.
Yeah, Alan is like, well, all things considered, you didn't make too much of a mess. So, is Tarina still alive?
She is, yes.
Thanks for that. She spends a lot of money here.
She probably makes money too with people coming here to play.
From the patrons, not from myself. For myself, she just buys a lot of drink. Mostly for the patrons, who she finds, I think, that the drunker they are, the more easy they are to part with their money. But yes, he kind of grabs his other barkeep, and they tap out a bunch of ales and serve you your tea, and the other barkeep will help you carry some of those upstairs, as it's a number of ales. Yeah, the coin covers it, and a small tip.
As we get back upstairs and we start handing out the ales, I'd like to kind of go back and reclaim some of the bolts that I spent.
Yeah, so standard rules, I'll go with the DM's guide. Anytime you use ranged weapons after any given battle, some of them break, some of them get lost. You get to recover half of your expended bolts.
Cool.
Sound good?
Side note, I think I'm still unconscious.
You would have gotten a healing potion, and so you would be conscious with 2d4 plus 2. Those were doled out to anyone who was injured, unconscious, that kind of stuff.
Wild
All right.
Rose. How hard did I get hit, or am I mistaken?
No, you were hit very hard.
Oh, I thought you were dead.
No, it was just like really bad. I fell down and I don't know. I got better.
By the way, I hate taking us out, but I forgot to mention, good friend Matt Dolan is not here tonight, at least for the first half. We'll see about the second. But hi, Matt. I know you're watching.
From heaven.
Sorry for that. I feel bad I didn't mention, but let's dive back in after that. I just wanted to give that a quick shout out. And thanks for hosting us too, Matt, by the way. But with that, you'll have the drinks. Everyone will kind of gather around the table. Tarina will say, once again, I can't thank you enough. They brought more than I expected, to be honest.
No, that was definitely quite a lot. I was expecting a handful of thugs. That was a battalion.
Well, I'm sure that might mean, for what it's worth to you, that the uncivil servant, the ship, will be short some guards, and
And
a captain.
Fruit ripe for the picking.
You look like you could get some rest first. But that being said,
in the last few hours, did we not rest well?
No.
When we left from the party, you said we were all resting.
so you've not rested quite yet. This is going to bring you right back into right after the combat. Yeah, right back after the combat. So, to business. Yes.
Yes, we were hoping that you would give us some information for the immortal, for the dead three?
The Dead Three.
The dead three.
Yes.
Soon to be dead three.
Well, I'm sorry that you were mixed up in that business. You may have survived here, but that's a whole nother thing. I will wish you the best of luck. But that being said, several blocks northwest of here, there's a bathhouse. Very nice for the lower city. Actually, surprisingly nice for the lower city. It's walled off. It has its own kind of garden inside, and the decor is frolicking nymphs. The front gates are carved in that way. Followers of the Dead Three have been seen coming from that bathhouse. I have witnessed several coming in and out myself. I'm told that inside there's a secret door somewhere that leads down to a dungeon where perhaps the killers or those in charge of the killings are hiding.
Who owns the bathhouse?
I could not tell you.
Well, we haven't made any move on them yet, so they wouldn't expect us to come. Perhaps we use this time now to take the ship and make ourselves a base of operations.
The only move I plan on making is with a pillow right now.
Well,
I could use a nap too, but I always like boats.
I don't mind doing the boat. I think it's a good idea. I'm with you on that. I don't want to storm a dungeon right now, that's for sure. By the way, I mean, does it increase your property value if there's like a dungeon built into the bottom of your... No?
boat? It seemed like it was a secret door, so perhaps people don't know of it.
Oh.
But yes, perhaps we go back to Ignis's inn and rest there.
Are we losing any time by doing it?
I would suspect not, as I said. I don't believe that they are expecting us to arrive yet, as we have not aggravated them. We've only merely acquired information as to where they might be.
Ignis only has the studio apartment. We're not going to be able to all fit
Oh
in.
no, the tavern nearby has
Oh,
accommodations.
okay.
The kitty mill.
The kitty mill.
The kitty mill.
That's that is a fine establishment. The house cheats.
Yes, we have learned this, or some of us have, I believe.
Do you have any insights on how they cheat, as we might cheat back?
If you like your hands and your head where they stay, cheating in an establishment like that is a poor idea.
All right. Well said. I suppose.
Just like cheating here.
Well, who said cheating?
You did,
Oh, right.
seconds ago.
Just checking.
I can tell you how it's done, Sterling. I saw it happen, but I wouldn't
don't
suggest
want
it.
to discuss nothing.
Well,
As you're speaking, you hear someone cry out from outside, probably by the gambling tables, and you hear a thud.
Look over and see what happens.
You are in another room.
We are in
don't
we're in
then.
a side room.
I
with
just
Serena.
laugh.
We can, I'll hold up my, I have a crossbow, and I'll just kind of like edge myself to the door and then just slide it open with the crossbow kind of looking out.
So you head to the door opens, you see some people pulling away, and on the floor in front of them you see a very dead halfling. Blood oozing out from her mouth, ears, her skin grayish in color already.
Do I see any sort of commotion, like someone obviously trying to run away?
No. People have like backed away. You glance up towards the only exit and
Yeah.
there's no commotion there. Yeah,
Check their hands.
Is,
Question
is it the druid?
it is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
is this right outside of our door or down on the main floor?
Right outside of her door. You cannot see downstairs
Correct.
as there is a floor between you and there.
I will rush out.
what happened?
Stand back, and do quick look over the body. Medicine check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Can I help him?
People are stepping away. They're totally freaked out. Someone says, she just started bleeding out of her eyes and nose.
Can I assist on the medicine check, being right there?
No.
9.
9? You're not sure. Her skin is unnaturally cold. You would guess she's been dead for hours. If you didn't know, she'd only been dead for seconds.
I'll get up and
the
approach.
2 pouches.
Yeah, they're right on the floor next to her.
Snag those.
All right.
Oh, my friend! I'm gonna start wailing over her body.
Can
All right.
I want to go up to her and see if I can do an Arcana check to see if I know what happened. Like if it was a
Yeah.
magical
Magical effect.
magical thing.
I'm creating a diversion.
10.
For sure. Yeah, you are absolutely sure that whatever happened to her was a magical effect. What it was, you are not able to discern.
Okay.
Was there anything in her hands? When she
Her
dropped?
the bags you imagine that she left with, it seems as though she's gone to the table. Perhaps she was pulling some of the coinage out, or the ring, or a couple of the necklaces she acquired off of the captain in order to gamble.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'll look her over, see if there are any obvious wounds that were more recent than the battle.
None. Her clothing seems intact, nothing torn, nothing tattered, no blood other than from her mouth, nose, ears, eyes. It's gruesome.
I'll kind of like train. I'll move up to him, to Ignis, and I'll just kind of train my heavy crossbow on kind of like circling the crowd and just kind of like looking at them each in their eyes and just kind of like looking for like someone who is maybe trying to feign surprise.
Go ahead and give me an insight.
And I say you take the money.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, you don't see anybody who looks to be hiding from anything. You don't see anyone who looks to be guilty in any way. People are afraid. It seems as though it happened so suddenly and so gruesomely that it's really caused more fear and kind of like you see superstitious reactions more than anything.
I mean, I don't want to keep doing too many. Would I be able to use? I guess I want to find a way to slide an investigation since there's been an array of other things, just to kind of look around, look for any types of like track. Well, maybe that would be more survival. Like I guess motive left behind, objects, things like out of place.
Yeah, give me an investigation.
Is there anybody standing around
That's a
her?
22.
Yeah, you don't see anything that kind of gives you a sense of something being left behind. You're pretty sure you haven't found any needles, any discreet, poisoning things of any variety. Nobody is standing around. As I said, everybody, as soon as it happened, backed away, cleared out. So the only people standing around her are you guys, and no one has headed down the stairs, so no one's like made a quick exit, nothing like that.
My intention was to grab the closest person and investigate them, if someone was around.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of backed up. You can feel free to go and grab someone in the crowd.
I won't yet.
All right.
I'd like to rummage through Ignis's bags, the ones you stole.
Yeah, so I did not dish loot last time. I've been thinking about it, and I think the best way to go with this is just a party loot. So this will be that. I'm going to tell you everything that came off of the captain, and we are not immediately turning it to gold unless it is gold or silver. Objects will have to be sold, pawned, that sort of thing. Yes.
Before we get into this, I don't think it looks too great that we're just looting a dead body in a crowd.
I was literally just about to say, let's take the body into the back room,
Yeah.
and then during the loot discussion.
No, I'm just rummaging the bags that he took off of her, just to see if there was anything that triggered it.
So,
And what objects are in the bag.
Ignis, would you mind moving the body to the small room? And I'll just yell I'll speak loudly to the crowd in commanding voice, like, go back to your games.
Yeah, I think we
There's nothing to
form
see
like a
here.
circle around the halfling and are like carrying.
Does anyone have a sheet? Blanket.
Negative.
Tablecloth.
Was that
Cloak.
That was a cloak.
Sure.
Alright.
And we'll take the body into the back room, and we'll close the door.
All right, so
Roll the body onto the cloak.
I'm going to need you to
Drag it.
make a persuasion or intimidation, depending on how you're attempting to influence the crowd.
I'll do an intimidation
With your
check
emblem.
with the emblem. This is red
Okay,
hand
go ahead and
business.
Flaming Fist.
Flaming fist.
Go ahead and roll it at advantage.
Ha! Thank you. Yeah, sure. I'll do it off like this. That was a nat 1. Thank you for advantage. That's much better. The intimidation will be 14.
All right. So with the symbol or the kind of deputization symbol that you have, nobody really interferes too much. You get watched carefully. You imagine as though people are taking very careful note of what you look like, what you're wearing, who you are. Since every one of you are involved, you're all undergoing this very careful scrutinization. You feel it. That being said, nobody stops you. You pull the body back. You feel as though you've done something kind of like suspicious, and perhaps it's best to not draw such attention to yourself in front of crowds in the future. However, you have succeeded. So you have the body, you have the bags, and here's what you find. In Deadeye's vest, you find a pouch containing 32 gold and 15 silver. He has 2 gold necklaces. These are in the bags now. 25 gold pieces each. And he has the ring that you recall very clearly, a blackened gold ring with a white pearl set in it. Each of the other pirates, I will say you have looted their bodies quickly. 3 silver per, so it's a total of 36 silver pieces that you glean from those pirates.
What's the worth of the pearl?
I don't know. How do you determine this?
Well, I know you told us the worth of the gold necklace.
Yeah.
So as I was wondering,
Gold itself has a value in weight.
Okay.
So everything gold, I'll tell you the value, because you're all seasoned with money, adventuring, that kind of stuff. You'll be able to tell the value of gold things.
Okay.
Also silver, copper, platinum, anything of those specific metals, you will know the value of.
Okay.
No ingredients for potions or anything like that on her?
No. You would guess that someone here caused her to use a good amount of the objects that she had on her.
Sure. Wow.
There's no way to medicine check again, is there?
No.
She's dead.
Oh, she is certainly dead.
Oh, she's
I was just letting her
really
close
dead.
that.
Does the ring have any arcane symbols or any, I guess, residual magic coming off of it?
You can give it an investigation. What I will say, here's a dropping a bunch of knowledge bombs. Knowledge Arcana checks will not give you whether there's a magic, anything to it. You'll need to detect magic or use Identify to get such things. However, if there are runes on it and you Knowledge Arcana, there are chances that you will be able to discern whether it is a magical item or not.
That was my next thing. I want to do detect magic as a ritual whilst they're going over the loot, and look at the body and the ring.
For sure. So you begin your ritual. You begin looking over the ring. Go ahead and give me an investigation.
8.
8. You can't find anything specific about it. The ritual takes how long?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So during this 10 minutes
11.
time period, Wild Rose, what are you doing?
I'm
Just to give you a quick reminder, you've all come into this back room, closed the door, you have the body there.
I'm looking at Ignis and I'm like, what do you think you're going to find in that fancy jewelry?
Not sure. This person kind of dropped dead. Don't know. Ring cursed. Maybe they tried to put it on.
Fair enough. I guess
It's a very unique looking ring.
I can't look at it with my expertise in investigation.
I will say I'll give one more check for that
All
one.
right. I don't think I mean, sometimes I get those bad rolls. Not great. I got an 11. So, or no, 13. That's how math works, yeah.
13. So you're looking it over. You don't really find anything that would indicate magic or runes or anything like that. It looks aged. The interesting thing about it is that it's blackened gold, and you rub at it, you can't smudge it off. It seems to have been somehow, the color of the gold seems to have been somehow altered.
Yeah.
Belhala, what are you doing?
I'm just like, they're all doing their investigations. I'm kind of standing to the back. I don't really understand like a lot of the social norms. I'm from the woods. I don't really get what's going on. So just people looking for loot, people checking for anything. Currently I'm just observing.
Okay.
I would say that since we're looking at somebody that helped us, I would like to maybe do a. Nope. No, I got nothing. I got nothing for
Alright.
this situation. There's no intimidation. The's no.
Yeah.
Can
I
intimidate the
just-
body a lot.
Yeah, I can't
Tell
really
me
do
what.
that. Yeah.
Tell me what has happened.
Where's Rachel?
Yeah, it's just like it's foreign things because people are talking and conversing with each other, and because I've spent a lot of time just alone,
Yeah.
it's a little bit not normal to me. So to have so many different people from so many different places, like not in the woods, not in the dark, I'm just kind of I'm observing.
Yeah.
I'd rather not be here in a back room. I'd rather be out, like finding people that I can talk to. I'm an
For sure.
immigrant. I want to know what's going on around me, what's happening in the city. And because I don't really know the city that well, it's just all it's oppressive in the way that I don't understand what's going on around me.
For sure.
So I would maybe verbalize we should leave this place and go out where we can observe other things. This place is nothing else for us to find.
All right. What is Sterling doing?
Oh, I'm looking over the body, getting squeamish, or reserved, trying to act tough. I just kind of back away. But I go back and I try to see what's going on, but I'm really shy about this. But I'm strong, looking, nothing.
Egan.
So you're checking over the ring.
The ring is passed between both.
Maybe the ring's not cursed, and maybe it's the silver. So I'll just take that, and problem solved.
I give a glare during my ritual.
Does the Undertaker come this far north? Does anybody know?
The ring is black gold.
Oh.
Black and gold.
I know
Yes,
it's.
it is a black and gold ring with a giant white pearl inset into it.
I don't know. Do they make rounds or?
I mean, I've heard.
You all
I think
know
there's a
that bodies
cost.
are kind of like,
Bring
at
it
the
out
end of the
your
day,
dead.
someone
Bring
might kick
out
the
your
body
dead.
out into the street. Someone might drag it away. Whatever bodies there are will get picked over. If it's too close to the upper city, it'll get taken care of by professionals. But for the most part, unless there's obvious family, someone who wants to do anything
Right.
about the things, they're just left.
I'm not dead yet.
Oren.
Yes, you are. Would the party like to use when we think about taking the ship? Do we think that we should take the pirate captain's head along with us?
I think we
Perhaps,
should at least take the ring. The
but the
ring
head.
knows he's dead.
But the head.
Or both.
You can steal a ring.
We-
Harder to steal someone's head.
How did we
Well,
take both?
easier for some.
I mean,
Do we have
I think
a bag big enough? for
one
a head?
holds the head up and one bears the ring, and we walk on the ship.
wow.
Saws.
I mean, look, if
I like
any.
It's a little barbaric and primitive, don't you think?
As it should be with pirates.
wait
I
a
would
second,
say
wait
also
a second.
straightforward. What's
They
that?
are.
I got an idea. I mean, a solution. We say, he said, over his dead body, right? And we just drop off the head or prove it and say, fuck off or join the cause. And we got it.
So we're in agreement that we should cut off his head.
No.
Sounds
Well,
great.
as long as we're already maybe gonna cut off a head, we might as well do something with
Why
it.
not
Otherwise,
just like
it sounds
his hand
disgusting.
and we can be like, look, the ring fits on his finger.
Well, we're not
No.
trying to marry it. We're trying to. I don't
If you
know.
like
Get
it,
a
put a
boat.
ring on.
I'll,
How do you get a boat? The rich man's dead.
I'll pull out a pouch and I'll just I'll say I'll return with the captain's body. Because I'm assuming it's still out there in the game.
No, everything has been pulled into this.
There are
room.
14 dead
I didn't catch
bodies.
that part. Great. So
8 of
then,
us
yeah,
are
I'm just gonna
just
take.
arranged.
I'm just gonna
14
take out my
bodies are
short sword and I'm just
Minus
gonna start
4.
kind of like.
Oh, just
Yeah, the 4 that had been at the door were blasted out in the street by the thunder wave, and so they were just laying in the street.
Yeah.
But all the ones that were upstairs were for sure dragged into this room.
But I'm just gonna cut off the pirate captain's head, and put it into a pouch.
Tell me again,
I-
how were we associated?
I don't know. That blade does not have enough weight to cut through that much bone.
That's messed up.
I'll help
The
him.
proper technique is.
So
Is the
with
ritual
that,
done? I have things that I wanted to. I have thoughts.
wonderful. The one thing is we got to kind of let 10 minutes worth of
Okay.
interactions pass before the ritual
Is
finishes.
beheading a 10-minute activity?
No,
We're
that is
bored.
probably 6 seconds worth of an activity. But that being said, as you continue to argue over what to do, some bold action is taken. The detect magic goes off, and the ring will glow abjuration magic.
And anything on the body?
That's the only magical thing that you...
Okay, so the body has no magic on it besides that it was killed in some sort of eldritch manner. Supposedly. Okay. I will then take the ring from whoever has it. I assume I have to have it anyways to look at it.
Nope, you can just look
I
at
can
it.
just look at it? Okay. And then I will... Who has the ring at this point?
You do.
I do.
Yes, sir.
Great. I have the ring, and then I will pocket it. Not put it on. I will pocket it.
Okay? So is everyone okay with him taking the ring and pocketing it?
Can I try that on quick?
Can I pickpocket?
No. So one of the things we do have to figure out collectively is how we deal with such things. I, as a DM, am not going to let you guys steal magic items from each other, hide magic items from each other. These are party loot. You'll have to work out what to do with them via conversation. So,
We don't
just
wanna
as a heads up,
like-
because no bad feelings.
We don't want to just like greed or need.
No.
That said, I think that the Flaming Fists, given their connection, political weight, and finances, should take care of the bodies. I think that at some point we should go back to the captain and tell him that there are 14 bodies who tried to kill his contact Tarina at the Elf Song Tavern, and see if there's any sort of maybe clerical assistance from some other force that could maybe speak with our deceased halfling friend
That sounds fair.
to see what they were up to and if they saw anything that happened. But I think that we should just leave 14 dead bodies minus one head in the Elf Song Tavern.
Well, and we have to
backward.
remember that ship is not going to stay there forever.
They can't sail without a crew.
We could.
It's not leaving anytime soon.
I would say give it to either the Flaming Fist captain as government owned or Alan in the bar.
I think we should search it.
I believe the ship belongs to us now.
That's what he said, and I agree. Well, I mean, like, it's us now. I mean, like, we got the head.
From what it seemed to me, the bartender downstairs made this seem like it was a normal night at the Elf Song Tavern. Perhaps a little abnormal, but everything seems back to normal. I don't believe that we need to make amends to the tavern at all. I do believe that the ship is an amendment to ourselves, as our victory is sweet indeed.
I wouldn't be surprised if we couldn't catch a little bit of change off each of these bodies.
Oh, speaking of that, I will start handing out
Oh, Central London.
the coinage. Everybody gets 4
I'm
gold and
influential.
6 silver.
This doesn't even pay me back
What
for
we-
what I paid him.
What'd you say?
Everybody gets 4 gold and 6 silver.
Are we not doing the party loot, or do we all get that then?
That is the party loot.
That's the party that I divided up.
Oh, so we are going to divide it up amongst.
He's done it.
Okay.
So it's done.
I already passed it out. 4 gold, 6 silver.
How was everyone in Central London?
All right. And once again, I'll remind you about what Baldur's Gate is like. Flaming Fist will beat people to death and leave them in the streets. People are left for dead all over. Some people will drag them in the lower city. They might get cleaned up out of respectable taverns by their owners, by the establishments, but by and large, you're probably not finding anyone who's really taking care of dead bodies, particularly the Flaming Fist. So you would know that should you say, here, have these bodies, they'll laugh at you and probably say, fuck off.
I will go. Or do you want to come with me for a moment?
I don't see why not.
I'm going to go back down to the barkeep, Alan,
Okay?
and approach the bar. There's a problem in Tarina's room that we would like you to take care of at the end of the night. And I will lean on the bar and, like, eye at my hand and slide him a gold.
Okay. Bodies?
Very, very quickly.
We'll be taken care of. Just keep the door closed. There's a sign, an occupied sign on the back of the door. If when you leave, you just want to pop that guy out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your prudence.
Who am I to interfere with flaming fist business?
I'll smile and do a short nod and then walk back upstairs.
I'll just follow.
All right. So with that, the places to go if you want to remain together are the Kitty Mill. Perhaps 2 could fit in Ignis's place if Ignis so desired, but it's not a lot of space. You'd be on your own bedrolls or rolling up your own things. Ignis doesn't have much in the way of blankets to share. But you are quite tired. It is that time of the night. So what do you do with the ring?
I want to get it appraised to see the price of it, and then with that, and any sort of downtime that we have maybe coming up, seeing is there any sort of place in town that could potentially, maybe even the Flaming Fist, if they have connections with that, help us figure out what it is. I do know there's irony I know identify, but I need a pearl, but I don't know if the pearl can also identify. So yeah. So that's kind of my kind of main task is to figure out what's in the ring.
I'd recommend bringing someone with you.
Yes.
I don't believe any of us should go alone.
But it's not tonight, because tonight it's dark, but like tomorrow.
Of course.
Remind me again what abjuration magic is
Protection.
that? Protection.
And I am at now level 2 going to be an abjuration wizard. So
So yeah, anything that gives any sort of protection benefits would have abjuration magic to it. I would say, give me a knowledge arcana.
Me.
Yes.
11.
That is good enough to remember that he didn't seem affected by your poison hardly at all.
Do you mind if I hold on to the ring for the night?
how about I come back? This will sound cheeky. How about I come back to your place and then we can look at it there?
Fair enough.
So Aurelius and Ignis will be going to Ignis's apartment. Anybody else?
Latin names.
It is night. We probably shouldn't walk alone.
I believe that the rest of us may simply walk to the kitty.
Oh, that or take a nap and check out this
Kitty Mill.
boat.
Sleep.
For how
Yeah.
long though?
We will invest at least 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You will need at least 8 hours of rest, because one thing I will let you know is you have not technically leveled yet, so you do not have any of your increased capabilities until after your long rest.
Let's take an aggressive nap.
A tactical nap.
I'd like to go comatose and hallucinate wildly for the next 8 hours.
Yeah,
All right.
sleeping, right?
So you head to your respective places. Only 2 of you head to Ignis's.
Well, I head with it, yes.
All right. So, since there are only 2 of you, and this is Baldur's Gate, there is a potential encounter. So go ahead and roll me a d10, no 1.
I don't have my stats before I leveled, so.
4.
All right. So you make it safely back. You hurry. You hear bad things happening. Once again, I'll remind you, Baldur's Gate at night, fog's in.
Every
You
night
can't
is purge
see.
night.
You can't see a block away from you. Every night is indeed purge night. You can hear muffled cries, perhaps, and there are murder cults on the loose.
So it is like the Purge.
yeah,
First night.
it's a very scary place to be. But you make it back safely. You feel paranoid the entire time, but you do. You lock your door behind you. You guys head to the tavern, the Kitty Mill, where you're recognized, and due to the amount of money that you lost to one of the proprietors, they allow you to spend a single night for free, provided you sleep in 2 rooms, which is close and I'm a little uncomfortable.
I'll take my own.
No, the girls will stay in one and the girls will stay in the other.
Oh.
It's that simple.
Yeah. So, you get your long rest, you wake up, everyone is level 2, and you should have your, go ahead and restore your hit points. Aurelius, your constitution is still lowered. That does not cure on the rest. The 2 of you, in regards to the ring, do you do anything?
I would, if you allow, I would like to attempt to attune to the ring. I believe it gave the captain of the ship some protection against poison.
Oh, did you need me to make you poison? I make a very good.
You are not here.
How would you suppose to test it?
I wildly gesture at all of the medical supplies I have. I also have a poisonous kit.
Can you attune to a ring or do something without knowing what it is?
Certainly.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can attempt to. If it's not magical, you don't attune to it.
Okay.
But yeah.
With the caveat, depending on what it is, I'll take it back. But yes.
Well, once again, we will declare that there's no ownership of this ring until the party agrees.
They can do whatever they want. They're in their own. They're in their own.
Yes. If you want to attune to it.
Yeah, I'll spend an hour.
Okay.
Attune to it.
So you spend your hour, you attune to it, you take some poison before you go to sleep. It seems to not have any effect on you.
Need a real man.
You wake up, you head to breakfast at the Kitty Mill, where you have agreed to meet your companions to decide what to do next. As you probably, with a night behind you, imagine you don't have a lot of time to secure the ship or do whatever you want in regards to that. But feeling all very rested and ready to go, amped up, if you will, you have your breakfast at the Kitty Mill, and you may discuss your next plan of action.
Another beer, please.
Oh, piss off. We gotta hit this ship before anything else happens.
Before somebody else takes it.
Quick.
Right.
Backtrack. I learned nothing about the ring, trying to attune to it.
Ah, bum out.
Exactly what I told you. Told you.
Told you.
Well, he's telling us, however.
Which is why I think that we should get it appropriately appraised
Right.
because it causes have negative effects.
Oh, you know what? I bet one of those blokes on the ship has a good idea what's going on about that ring. After we kill him. I mean, before.
I should reiterate.
That's
You're not unsure what the ring does. You know exactly what it does. You are immune to poison.
All right. You said the way you phrased that.
Yeah, the
I
way
was
you
just
phrased it
very
was-
confused.
Yeah. Yes, the poison spray seemed to not affect him
Okay.
when you, like from before.
Yeah.
That's why you recognized and had your thoughts. As you took the poison, it had no effect on you.
So about that boat. Shipboat.
Shibuti.
Shipboat, think I ought to go over there.
We should definitely go to the boat as soon as possible.
All in favor, aye, and I try to echo aye 8 times.
Yeah, I mean, we.
I do have a
Sooner-
head that I would like to dispose of sooner rather than later.
Sooner rather than later, they will be expecting the rest of their crew at some point. And the last thing we need is more pirates running around in the
Alright.
city.
I mean, they might have already expected them back, but it doesn't matter if we just.
We still got the big old badge.
You
acceptance
want to
for the
storm?
ship.
You want to storm on there as cops?
No. With the big old badge, I meant his actual head.
Oh.
And I just kind of like tap the pouch.
All right. So, how about a roadie? Let's go. Beer.
Beer.
All right.
I'm just simply drinking my tea.
All right. Once again, as before, a drink or any more, you have to make your con save against poisoning. It said low DC for 1 beer, but you still have to make it. So go ahead, anyone who has a drink.
But is coffee a thing here? Does coffee exist in this world?
Not here.
Okay.
It could, in the right place, if you knew the right people and had the right coin.
Got it.
10.
11.
You can borrow someone's snuff box though. I'm sure. It's like here.
So yeah,
Coffee.
we got a punt. Let's piss off.
Everyone passed a DC 5 on their con save.
Yep.
Who had a drink? Perfect. So you eat your food, you have your drink, and you head out. So the Elf Song Tavern itself is about 5 blocks away from the nearest dock. There are no gates between the lower city and the docking district itself. The docks themselves are kind of a marvel. The god Gond and his church have nearly complete control of the docks. The water is super deep and massive ships can come nearly up to the shore, and they are unloaded by massive mechanical devices. The god Gond is a craftsman deity, worshipped mostly by dwarves. So there are a lot of dwarves on the dock. There are craftsmen's guilds, but it's unlike, for those of you who have never been to the docks, who have stayed away from the docks, as you approach it, it's unlike anything you've ever seen anywhere else in the world. It's cranes the size, taller than the buildings around by a good amount, giant mechanical devices that make grinding and turning sounds. It's loud. There's a lot of people here. It's morning. The ship's being unloaded. The crowds are pretty intense. Also, once again, because there's a bunch of extra people and the docks are an easy place to sleep, to stay out of trouble-ish, it's way crowded. All of the piers that go out, heavily crowded. You feel this kind of discomfort as you bump amidst people with a severed head hanging in a bag.
No one knows about that.
No one knows, but you, as an
That's
individual carrying a severed head around in a crowd, feel a little bit of discomfort.
It just drips like as you walk.
I'm just
We've
making sure
slept for 8 hours.
I don't have the badge out. The badge is put away.
Okay, does anyone have their badges out as you head out there?
Just
Of
tucked
course
off to the
not.
side. No.
Sounds good. So you head out. You know the end of, you know which pier it's on the end of. Baldur's Gate, being the free city that it is, does cater to pirates. There's no real stigma as long as none of them are pirating in the bay. So there's a fair number of malicious-looking people around, goods being hawked. There's theft and thievery all around. Even in daylight, you can see people clutching their pouches. Illicit trades going down even in broad daylight. With the refugee population, the Flaming Fist is super thin. In fact, once you get down to the docks, you don't see a single Flaming Fist around amidst the kind of large groups of people.
Is there anybody around that seems like they work at the dock or, have like a ledger of slips?
As far as slips and ledgers go, there is a single building, the big gate around it. No one's really going up to that. The gates are closed. Every once in a while, someone is let through, but that is your shore where the dockmaster is. And he does not seem to be taking audiences as much as taking ledgers from people. He's not immediately in sight. He's in the building, but he has people working, transporting stuff.
But he has like port authority guards too, or something like that.
None that you see, although you would suspect that he probably has on payroll enforcers who would not be obvious.
What's your... Do you seem intimidating?
Do I? Are you asking like me as a player? Do I look intimidating or what?
What's your intimidation?
On a scale of +1 to +5.
So I mean, I don't know. Does Orin look intimidating? I mean, Orin has. He has a bag that is filled about roughly the size of a head.
Yeah.
That may or may not be dripping a little bit of blood.
It's a fresh
'Cause
watermelon.
I would love
More
to
arms
walk
than
onto a
usual
boat and
weapons.
say, introduce this as the new head of the cap ship thing.
Sure. I mean, I have a large crossbow. I mean, I don't imagine many people have heavy crossbows that are walking around. And I have various different weapons that are on my body.
Would you say could intimidate more than 3 people?
I'm not. I mean, alright. I'm not super in as far as a skill goes from a character sheet perspective. I'm not super intimidating, but I am proficient in intimidating.
May the party allow me to lead.
The charismatic woman, absolutely.
Possibly.
What
the,
is-
the charismatic woman who is also a tiefling?
Sure.
I'm going to step in front of the group and be like, what is our plan?
Walk onto the.
Well,
I would like to
ship
walk
box?
onto the
Is that what
ship.
they call it?
You all may follow me, but I
No, you're.
shall do things that you may not understand, but they shall.
So
Be
you,
effective.
so you want to? So we're gonna go into the ship
Flex.
and just
Do you or do you not
murder
want
every.
No.
It's not so much one. It's
Your
what is the
possession.
plan?
to own this ship?
What I've been able
Through
to.
acquiring the deed, or just slaughtering everyone on board and then having
Wait,
a
whoa,
ship,
whoa, whoa.
which probably takes 20 plus
Wait,
people to
let's back up a bit.
Why
What does
not?
the ship look like?
Why
It's
not
a
both?
boat. It's like got a thing with a stick and it's. You've seen
I
it?
would imagine that it would not be difficult for us to hire people to take care of the boat for us.
Definitely.
I think
I would
we
imagine
could-
when we are in the tavern, we might have been told by the halfling there are other people manning the ship now.
Right.
We have killed their captain. We have their head. We
Yes.
might as well count one. Well, we are already on the ship. We can count. We can decipher. There are slaves. There are people who would love to be rid of Baldur's Gate.
I think
Would not be hard.
we could do something with the people that already been on the ship there. They know the directions of the things, left and right. However, yeah.
Are you
pretty
saying
sure
you
we
want
could-
to get them to mutiny and just like?
You-
follow
There
them?
is no
Mutiny
against
mutiny
a dead
without
captain?
a captain.
Mutiny requires.
That's a good
Exactly.
entrance.
You're
I
right.
get it. I like
mean,
that.
Look, there's a chain of command, right?
Yeah.
So someone would be interested in mutiny against everybody.
Let's go
as
figure
Oh,
out
Bell
who
Hollow,
that
you walk
is.
up and say, "Hey,
I start
mutiny."
heading towards the end of the pier.
Does anybody know what the ship looks like?
It's-
No.
Maybe we should go to the dock master or the slip master to find out which ship it is exactly before we march upon a random ship and scare.
Good. A
It's,
plan.
it's
Thank
the
you.
one that looks piratey.
I've already left.
Where did he
You
go?
do have some information. If you will recall, you know the name of the ship.
The
Right.
You know it's a well-known ship, and it might not require a slip, but simply asking anybody, as it is a very, very, very well-known ship.
Let's do the thing.
There we have it.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Which way to the shit
And civil servant.
uncivil servant?
Who do you ask?
That one.
That guy.
No one responds.
Oh, you. Jingle my coins. Jingle my coins.
That is
Oh,
inappropriate
don't
to
do
that.
Oh, you.
People are bustling. People are ignoring. There's lots of shouting. No one's like. You really can't grab someone's attention by yelling unless you know their name.
Grab them. I grab
no.
the first person I see. Say, which way to the uncivil servant? I've got a package. Now, go.
You could have just said we're reporting to done it.
You have the
Hey.
social skills of a pheasant.
All right, give me an intimidation.
It's not owl. Oh.
Ah, fuck. 6.
Oh no!
All right. Unleash my dice.
Punched in the face.
I'm just
Damn.
asking a question.
No, you're accosting someone demanding an answer.
Yeah,
So
a random.
this individual you accost, I'm going to, since you didn't give me anything other than a random individual, I'm going to roll his size or her size,
Sounds good.
and they are quite large,
Sounds good.
an 11 out of 12, so they are about as big as they can be. So you have grabbed what appears to be perhaps a bosun, and he will turn around and in turning, pull a mallet and just smack you with it. He probably thinks you're trying to rob him, assault him, some other such thing, and so he will strike you Does a 20 hit you?
Yeah,
All right.
just barely.
It will do 3 points of damage, and he'll give you the piss off and head off into the crowd.
Say, thank you. You try.
So we don't know what the ship looks like, though,
It's a fucking
right?
No, but you have a name.
We have a
and
name.
ships do a thing.
I'm gonna.
So these have that on them.
All ships,
Okay.
yes.
Great. So what I'm going to do then is, in a dramatic motion, flurry my cloak and release my familiar, a raven, to do a loop around the dock
There we go.
All right.
to see what she sees.
Sounds good.
And in a city of carnage, a raven would blend in.
Maybe next time start with that.
Yeah.
If you listen to me about the plan,
Is that a flying
You asked for a
crab?
plan. You didn't provide solutions.
Maybe a plan.
All right. So you release the raven. A
Never
couple
more.
people do notice you.
okay.
You will know that livestock are not allowed of any variety in Baldur's Gate. So had you been somewhere where the Watch or Flaming Fist had seen you, they would have killed it and fined you. But nobody seems to see it. Nobody that matters seems to see it. So it flies up. I don't believe it can read.
No. Wait. Well, I don't. It has an intelligence of.
A bird.
Let me check my homemade spell card.
Very nice.
Quickly.
Has the intelligence of a bird.
Shucks.
Small rocks. Very small rocks.
How many? No, coconuts.
She turned me into
A duck.
Well, I've got better.
African.
She's a witch. She turned me into a newt. Well, I got better. Oh,
I
exactly.
believe it has the intelligence of the creature itself, which I think is a 2 or 3,
Yes.
which does not allow for reading.
Okay.
So it will search around. It will see crowds of people. It will say there's lots of floating things.
Okay.
Ew, floaters.
What'd you say? What did it say?
Lots of ships.
Oh, ship.
Okay.
The thing that it will also relate is that there's a good number of ships that are outdocked on floating buoys, kind of a massive ship island, if you will.
Is there a way to get to that island?
Not without a boat.
Could I pick out someone about my height and maybe like much skinnier? And then I just like to walk up to them and just like jingle my coin purse.
All right.
You have a
You're
minute?
trying to pick up a prostitute.
I might.
I need an answer for a question I have.
He holds out his hand.
Well, that depends on your answer.
Oh no, I don't do business that way.
All right, fuck off. I'll go to the next one.
In this city, you'll probably get a similar reaction. People are used to being swindled. People are used to being kind of like taken advantage of. Nobody's going to give you anything.
I'm not one of
Yeah.
them. I'm not one of them.
No, so nobody. You get the impression immediately. You stop 3 or 4 people, try to do the same thing.
Okay.
Nobody's going to give you any information without money in their hand.
So again, there's no dock master or any sort of official.
There is. He's
there-
just not taking people.
not taking people.
He
Got another
values his
plan.
life.
Give me a coin.
And so someone like
You've
with
got
that
your
amount
own
of power
coins.
being
I
in
don't
crowds,
wanna make a sound.
Or an office, like it's like there
yeah,
has
his office
got
is
an
closed
idea.
gates,
I know
closed
you're
doors.
do the same thing. Find somebody skinny.
No, I've got a plan. For
Yeah.
real. A real plan. I'll just let you do it.
Sorry.
What can I? What? Yes.
So we're looking for a boat, right?
Okay.
On civil servant. Where is it? I dangle out a silver piece and say, "Don't fuck off yet. Where is it?"
He takes the silver from you.
Yes, he does apparently. And drop it.
Let's see. Does he tell you a truthful answer?
the truthiness of it.
And he says, "Last night it pulled out to the floaters."
Yeah. So, what it means about getting by it?
You got to get a boat out, which you can do pretty easily. Someone will ferry you out there. A person for a copper, pretty easy.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks. And I'll just fuck right off.
Ask him where those people are.
I will walk to the end of the boat
we'll find
with.
them.
I
End
would.
of the dock.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I would imagine that by perception that there's a bit of small dinghies.
Yeah, there's people bopping around in rowboats kind of everywhere, giving people rides out to the islands, back and forth. It's a pretty straightforward thing.
Do we see any rough, tough, and tag SOBs
Everywhere.
within the boats at the end?
Everyone who's rowing the boats, you imagine is pretty capable whether they look it or not, because they're willing to take strangers out onto the water.
And the boats look big enough where they'd be able to take the whole party out.
Probably 4 to a boat is the most you'll get. But 2 boats is easy enough.
Sounds
And
good.
it's pretty easy. Like if you wanted to, you jangle your copper, they come over, they say how many, they'll grab 4 of you for 4 copper, and so on and so forth.
Anybody, you want to just hop right on?
Is the plan then that we simply go and
Hop on a boat?
yes, and we go over to
Sure,
the
big
Uncivil
badge.
servant, and we just
Take it. Yeah.
yes.
Anybody against it?
How many boats?
One boat. I mean, like, it's the own civil servant. It wasn't a plural name, so.
No, how many boats is he gonna take for us all to get
Oh,
out?
2.
2 set, full and full.
I think that was the plan that you talked about.
No, I'm just making sure that we're all in agreement with this. I mean, I'd hate to kill someone and then have one of you be like, "Why did you kill that person?"
Really? I mean, because
Yes.
okay.
Just say. Shall we?
Yes.
All right.
All right,
Do you have
so
a copper?
everybody have a copper?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple.
No.
All right.
Nope.
Does anyone need a copper? Oh,
Can I-
you should all have money from, and it's pretty easy. I'll let you split the silver as you gain to copper. I won't be too, like, you can change.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be weird about that.
How much is 1 silver, 2 copper?
I think everything's like tens.
Tens.
Yep.
Okay.
You got me.
Metric.
I don't got you.
Who are you? I don't want to divide shit.
The superior.
Oh, it's all
10 for everyone.
Did you know that the
So
US
I
is
went down
actually
to
on the
one,
metric
so
system?
5. So you got 10.
So you grab your coins,
Yep,
you
and then
jump on the
minus
ship,
1.
or on the boats, I should say, and they will take you out to these floating buoys. So the buoys themselves are little rafts that are all interconnected. So there's this huge interconnected span. The ships themselves are tied to them, but none of them have gangplanks down. So that's the first thing you'll notice. They're all kind of separate because nobody just wants a stranger from another ship wandering on board theirs. So you come onto these floating docks, this system of floating docks, and it doesn't take you very long at all to locate the uncivil servant or serpent. It's a pretty large ship.
Is it serpent or servant?
Servant.
Servant?
Serpent.
Serpent.
Uncivil
Oh.
serpent.
Okay.
Uncivil
That's why we
serpent.
couldn't find it. We're looking for the uncivil servant. Sitcom moment.
One of those beautiful things. So you find it pretty quickly. There's no gangplank down to it, but yeah, you're all standing on this floating dock.
Is the ship?
There's a cat meowing nearby.
Does
I
it look
know.
kind of nice?
It's okay. It's not a
Does the
problem.
ship look nice?
What was the cat?
It looks like a pirate ship.
So
It looks like it's been repaired many times. It looks like it's weather worn. It's battered, but it looks like a ship.
pretty sturdy.
It's been around for a while. This ship. Its name is pretty well known. Yeah.
Let's climb.
I want to look around and just look for any, I don't know, anything that like could be a booby trap, anything like that.
No, and you not on this area,
Mhm.
and you would imagine that anyone who tried to do that would get in trouble pretty quickly, whether it be from the Flaming Fist or other places. It's a free city, but any defense you imagine would be on the ship, which
Okay.
is part of why they don't have the gangplanks down.
Well, I think we need to get their attention.
Well, I believe perhaps the best way to get their attention would just be to simply go up onto the ship. If we were to get their attention now, we are at a tactically disadvantage.
Lead the way.
Let's climb up.
As I said,
Hmm.
they are deliberately, their gangplanks aren't down.
Yeah.
They're just tied off to this. There's no easy way up onto the ship.
Yeah, let's climb.
I have a rope we can use. Do a couple of. I don't have a grappling hook though, unfortunately. I don't think any of them come with grappling hooks.
Not anymore.
Any rocks or broken pieces of dock that seem heavy enough to throw?
No rocks here. You would probably have to break something off. This area is kept pretty clean. Lots of traffic. There's people on the ships all around. There's everything that. I'll step back. All of these ships would have been unloaded, so they haven't brought anything here. They've just kind of like pushed up against it and tied.
Oh.
So there's no stuff on the way or on the dock.
Okay, here's an idea. Full of them. Let's just call to them and say we are Flaming Fist, and we have acquired their captain, and we need to search the vessel.
Maybe not quite that specifically for the sense. That sounds dumb.
I will also remind you, Flaming Fist have kind of unilateral power. They abuse it often. They will do stuff like that for personal gain. Flaming Fist are often used as personal bodyguard and paid off. You're dealing with a heavily corrupt city.
I've got an idea.
Remember that we're on a boat and they're on a ship and we have no way to get onto.
You're not on a boat. You're on kind of a flame.
The dock.
Yep.
We are at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
We could just demand.
Oi!
So in my country, we have something called Monty Python, and this is like the episode with the fortress.
So
we have zero way to get on.
you call down. You'll see a kind of scraggly looking fellow, eye patch, hat, come up to the side. He's like, "Oi, what?"
Flash my badge of the Flaming Fist. You're being boarded.
No, we're not because
He lifts his eye patch. He has two working eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Flaming Fist.
He's
Flash
gonna
my
say you.
badge as he looks around as well.
For what reason? Captain's not aboard.
Exactly. We're here to search the vessel.
Lean on him.
He kind of like counts you.
Lean on him.
Say something. This is under direct
Did he
order.
stutter?
I'm afraid that we can't let anyone on board.
Well, then
Captain is in holding. This is not a question. This is a request, a demand. Let it down.
All right. What is everybody else doing? In particular, those people who are not centered at the table. What is everybody doing on the dock around?
Looking mean.
I mean, yeah, we're looking really intimidating.
Okay.
Owen will just be kind of fingering his heavy crossbow and have his little kind of show a badge.
All right. Sounds good. We are coming up on break time, so as you all kind of like get ready to intimidate this person to
doing our
letting you on
pose.
board, we are going to cut off. We will be back in about 15 minutes. Stick around. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm just gonna, as soon as I'm done with this guy. Boom.
99.
We're back. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good rest during the break. I know we did. Just to reset the scene, the crew is on kind of a floating dock right outside of the ship. The Uncivil Serpent. They are brandishing weapons. They are brandishing their flaming fist badges, attempting to intimidate themselves on board. And so, we'll come back to right there. I'm speaking.
This is a demand. Lower. What was I saying? What were they called?
Gangplank.
Gangplank. Lower the gangplank.
All right, go ahead and give me an intimidation
Yeah, I'd
check
like to help him
at
with that.
advantage.
Yeah. All right, here we
The
go.
entire party is.
Got this.
I'll just
You're just
don't
gonna roll
fuck
really
up.
well.
Yeah, here we go. 18.
All right.
No.
So he says,
19.
he says,
19. 19.
Yeah,
19.
19.
Sorry.
hold on, I'm gonna
Like,
I'm gonna get the plank and the boys. So you hear him calling out. You hear a couple bells rung, and you hear scuffling and people moving stuff around.
Hiding the contraband.
After,
We hear a lot of like camels and pandas and things like that.
with that, the scuffling comes towards the edge, and they'll push down the gangplank towards the dock. Generally speaking, I know that you were trying to go onto the ship and intimidate, and Valhalla had offered her services as a front, but I also need a marching order. So who is going on front for sure?
So if Valhalla cheers up, I'll be
Leading?
at least third.
you
I
want to lead?
think that I could be of good service at the front.
Well, fuck off, right?
You lead.
So
I would-
Valhalla,
I would like to do my thermoclergy, where I can do, I think, 3 things at the same time.
Yep.
And like you can do the ground rumbles, and there's like any kind of light can flash while I do, and my voice can double in. I think I can read it for you if you.
Double volume.
I got it.
for-
So Valhalla comes out front, and I'll let you read those descriptions. I do need a marching order behind Valhalla.
I think Headless Man should go first.
Nope.
After.
I'll go after Orin.
Oh, so I should go after Valhalla then?
You
So
have the
then it'd
head,
be
correct?
Oh, it's
It's still in a pouch.
Then
Perfect
I'll
thaumaturgy.
go after
It's a spell.
Egan.
So
Egan.
it'll be way in the back of the side.
Egan.
All right. That's,
Valhalla, Orin, Egan, Sterling. Who's next?
Ignis.
Ignis.
and then Aurelius, and then me.
Sure.
Party in the front, business in the back.
No. Yeah, you got that mixed up.
Oh.
Business in front, party in the back.
No, it's like thermo.
So you head up, and Valhalla will begin muttering some incantations. She'll head up slowly, because each one will take 6 seconds to cast, but the incantations will cause the following.
Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for a minute. You create instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, a cry of a raven, or an ominous whisper. And then there are 5 different things you can do. Do you want me to read all 5
Just
or
the
just the
3
ones
you're
I'm
doing.
doing?
Yep.
And then I would like to alter the appearance of my eyes for 1 minute, so they're just flashing like red, black, and yellow, just like flames almost coming from my eyes as I stepped onto the thing and like speak 3 times louder than my sound, and the entire ground start to shake for all the pirates.
All right, ground shaking, eyes flaming, loud voice. You step up the thing. As you guys are heading up the gangplank, it begins to tremble and shake. You hear her, no dexterity saves or anything like that. You're good going up the gangplank.
Can I be scared too?
No,
You
you're
may stand down. I am boarding, and I am your new captain.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now. All right, give me an intimidation check at advantage.
So that 13 plus 2, 5, so that's an 18.
All right. So With an 18, you step on, your eyes flaming, and the people who are there to meet you, they've kind of pressed forward. All 11 of them are there, and you see that they've had like weapons kind of behind their back, waiting for you to board one at a time, and they were about to jump you. But as you come on board, the whole like side of the ship begins to tremble, and with your voice booming, they step back and they're like, what? Don't stop that! What are you doing? Stop that! Stop that! And they're making like superstitious symbols, and they're just really not comfortable with anything that's going on right now. They're dropping weapons, kind of pulling out these charms. A couple have like booked it towards the back.
I would like to allow my party to come beside me, and the ones that have like, like kind of a little bit more menacing views, like do an intimidation check, so they can also help me in the intimidation of like being beside me and like empowering the idea of that we are taking control. We are the people that are going to run this ship.
I just want to toss out the bag and have the head roll out.
That's intimidation. Yeah.
The captain's head rolls out onto the ship as you all step forward.
And then who has the ring?
And I mean,
I would like to intimidate as well.
So one of the things, I'll step back. I won't need everyone to make intimidation checks. I'm definitely not gonna. No, you're good. You said it right. Everyone's stepping up to intimidate. Generally speaking, I allow one check for anything, because if I allowed everyone to make a check on everything, you would always succeed. There'd be no risk of failure. So when you've decided on a plan, that person is kind of going to be the one who makes that roll. I did give you advantage for that and everybody being with you, however. So that's kind of how I play those situations out. But that being said, the person who initially spoke is like, what do you mean you're the... He sees the captain's head and his eyes go wide. And he's like, Captain?
You may kneel before us if you may, but otherwise, you may just man the ship.
Wait, what was that? What'd you say?
So a bunch of them are too afraid to really do anything, but that fellow will be like, fuck this, I'm not dying today, and he'll get to his knees.
Bend the knee?
What are you... What does the Flaming Fist want with this ship?
It is ours now. It's not what we want. It is ours.
The Flaming Fist?
It doesn't matter if it's a Flaming Fist or anyone around me. It is ours.
Okay.
And what shall you do and your people? Shall you stay, or do you want to go to the shore and be alone with all the immigrants? Do you want to die of disease, or do you prefer to be manned by this crew?
Do you pay?
We pay.
Still pirates?
We are not pirates, but we shall pay you to venture. I do not speak for everyone.
Well, we're not really...
You're out of a job.
There's not enough of us.
Oh, we can get 4 more.
9.
There's 8
11
of
of
you,
us.
8 of us, 20 to man the ship.
Are you all
There's
proficient in using ships?
Nope.
So that's kind of a meta question. The crew does require 20 people with proficiency in water vehicles.
Let's say bare minimum.
20.
20.
20 people proficient with...
Can we get by with 15?
20.
No, 20.
Minimum
so we have
20.
11. My bad. Didn't realize
Real
that
penny
one.
pincher over here.
We
As I
share
was
gold.
saying earlier,
Yes. Yes, Aurelius. Please speak more.
I was like, guys, end game.
Yeah.
But we can't leave now,
We're not trying to leave now.
okay? Well, docking fee is a silver a week. Can you... We don't have anything. Can you cover that?
I think we can afford that for now.
Okay. Well,
Yes?
can you take the head?
I will kick it off the side of the
All right, give me an athletics as you soccer punt the head off the boat.
If you get a crit 1, it hits you in the face.
I hope there's something. I can't get through.
Yeah, it's a it's a 14.
All right, it goes sailing off the edge of the ship, and then you hear the sploosh as it hits the water. And they say, the captain's the quarters are. I assume you want the quarters.
They are mine.
You want to go?
Yes.
He nods, and he'll take.
We
you.
shall all go.
All right. So he will, out of the good graces of his fear and the smell of urine and other stenches coming from him, he will give you a short tour of the ship.
Do you have anyone that can play music? It's kind of sad here now.
We do.
He was
We do.
he was with the captain.
Oh,
Don't worry, we have our own bard.
Our bard is just resting.
The bard overslept.
What's
Classic bod.
Bard drank too much tonic and gin. Drink of
That
choice.
pineapple business.
So the ship itself. I'm gonna bust out another fun
new?
toy here. This is Ghosts of the Salt Marsh, the previous book to Descent into Avernus. But this beautiful book here has ships in it and some information for you.
Cool.
So he will give you the full tour of what is classified as a sailing ship. The ship itself is about 100 feet long, 20 feet wide, and it contains the following. On the deck, there's a mangonel, which is a siege engine of sorts, throws rocks, mangonel stones.
So like
The-
a catapult.
Of sorts, yes.
Yeah, how the church.
It has 10 of those stones stacked and secured near it. There on the main deck, there's a hatch that goes down to the lower deck. The entire outer edge of the deck has a 3-foot-high railing on it. And there are 4 rowboats stacked kind of on each side of the ship. The ship itself consists of several other portions. It will take you first to the officers' quarters. The officers' quarters has 4 beds. Beneath each is an iron footlocker. These are open and empty. Then there's the captain's quarters, single bed and a desk. Also an iron footlocker underneath the captain's bed, also open. All of these things are open. The unfortunate thing about this situation is in order to do ship's repairs, and they'll tell you this, in order to do repairs, restock, bunch of fees and stuff, they have nothing. The captain straight up took all of the crew's money in order to fund the venture and come here specifically to punish Tarina, who took a good portion of gold from the ship when she left. So they were hoping to punish her, get the gold back, but obviously that went awry. Throughout the whole ship, everything is busted open. The sailors might each have a copper on them. They're all kind of left squalid. That being said, there is a room below decks that would have siege weapon ammos in it. There's shelves and rope that would secure the stones and ballista arrows. There's a huge hold for supplies. The barrels of tar, all the way empty. Not a scrap of repair wood left on the ship. The tools, even, it seems, to do most of the repairs have been taken and sold in order to fund this venture to punish Tarina.
Wow.
Wow, what a fine piece of maritime property.
He's a really good captain.
Yeah, right.
He's a piece of shit.
There's also the forecastle, which has a ballista on it. The exception for the ammo is, like I said, there are 10 stones next to the mangonel, and there are 10 ballista arrows stacked next to the ballista. So you do have some ammunition. Once again, the 3-foot-high railing.
I believe it would be good if we tie ourselves to each person individually. If there are 8 of them, there are 8 of us. Each one controls a person. We watch, we
There-
observe. They cannot revolt if we each
There
have a
are
person.
11 of them.
No, there's 11 of us.
There are 11 of them, and 8 of you?
7.
7 of you at the moment.
7.
But they are incredibly broke. You don't imagine that they will do anything now that their captain is dead if you give them a little bit of coin, perhaps a little bit of booze, and a little bit of food.
Yeah.
Knowing
think
how these
Egan
things
knows
work.
That's what I think. I was going to say.
That's mine.
We need to. Are we like in a? Are we yet to privacy? Can we go to the captain's quarters and have a team meeting?
Team meeting?
Team meeting. You know, team meeting.
Maybe somebody should watch the crew, though.
I will.
No, I shall.
The
you're
rest
the
is...
No, the captain.
I'll finish the tour
No.
really quick before you do so. There's an ore deck. There's a privy with 4 chamber pots in it. There's a medical cabin. All of the tools and medicines have been looted. There is a guest cabin and a brig. There's a hold, and there is an armory. The armory totally empty. And there you have it. So it has
armory.
the forecastle, quarterdeck, main deck, lower deck, and the hold. It's basically 4 levels. 2 of those levels are above. That's the main deck, the forecastle and quarterdeck, and 2 below, lower deck and hold.
I shall stay
that's
on the
fine.
main floor if you would
Big-
like to converse in
big
the captain's
armory.
quarters. You may inform me later.
Cool.
Yes.
You
Aye,
can
aye,
see it, kind
Captain.
of standard ship.
I'm sure
deck.
the stream too.
There's the
Wait,
ship
wait,
that
wait,
they have
wait.
right there.
I move my eye
Lower
patch
deck.
to the other eye, which exposes the real eye,
All right.
and then move it.
You know, I can
It's a
wink
good
with-
ship.
I can wink with both my eyes.
It is one of the most feared ships around. It is widely known. It has been a successful pirate ship for going on 30 years. This is, by all accounts, probably one of the most feared pirate ships in the region. So yes, it more than is though. It is probably the best pirate ship in the region.
It's a 30-year-old model, though, so
I
Yeah.
know.
It's a classic.
I'm a 30-year-old.
Well, I would like to
Aye,
abstain from going away to the captain's quarters and hanging out and maintaining the bridge or shit deck.
So the question immediately, do you give them any money?
That's what I was
I-
about to ask. I was going to say.
think
You should give them a
immediately
silver for the money.
We shall. I think we should throw them 1 gold piece in the
Whoa.
middle, and they may fight over it.
No, we should.
Yes.
Whoever wins,
Yes.
That's
is
what
the
the
winner.
team
I
meeting
like
is
it.
for.
Let
No, the
people
team meeting is to
to
have
run
this
our
discussion.
Yeah.
they,
The question is more, do you
Captain's
leave
orders.
sight of them without giving them money?
no.
No.
Captain's
That is why
orders.
I asked the question.
No, I say coppers all day. And while the captains is shitting on the probability.
What?
What?
Is that common?
Oh, don't ask me this, but
Fine.
What?
Should
how-
we do 1 copper apiece per day?
9. We need to have a captain's meeting. However, at
I
the
think for now we
same
shall give them
time-
each a copper. You may all meet. You may discuss. I will stay with the crew, but they have to be loyal to us in this moment.
That's
If they
what
are
I
not
need.
loyal, they may revolt, and that is 11 more people that we need, and that's 11 more people to find that can man a ship. Shall we give them each a copper now? I shall stay with them. You may discuss for future reference, but now
I
We
give
should-
you 11 silver pieces.
There's a copper.
Yeah, I think a
Uh,
silver
silver.
piece. I think a silver piece is the right way.
I'll
to
take
go.
my copper back.
Each or just 1?
each.
I will give each individual a silver
They need to.
piece.
They need to fill themselves with food. They need to get drunk.
At your behest,
No, but at the same
Ignis will step forward, hand out 11 silver.
Who was the one to originally greet us?
The one with the eye patch, kind of older-looking gentleman.
I will go to him last, as I'm handing him the silver piece. Get us a list. How much will it cost to start refurnishing the ship? Supplies, tools, any of that?
Definitely, it will take some time, but I imagine with everything going on, you don't plan to sail, do you?
Take some time. Be thrifty. Find the best deal. We're going to
Just
get everything together.
general rundown.
In the moment, don't worry about that.
Yes.
be ready
Captains.
to leave at the same time, right?
Who's the captain?
That shall be discussed. Right now, I shall stay with you, and then the rest will go
We're
discuss.
collected.
I thought we had it.
Decisions
Currently
by
now-
committee.
We are all your captains.
That is a confusing chain of command.
If you
They shall
second
leave.
guess
When they
it-
come back, things will be more clear.
If you should second guess it, you cut yourself right now. Understood?
Whoa.
Am I leaving? Am I not
Nope.
second
He's
guessing?
great.
Am
Nope.
I don't understand.
I
For
wanna
now,
show-
I shall stay with you. I will be your captain in this moment. They will speak, they will discuss, and then we shall communicate where we are and trains command.
We're like
Okay.
the Congress, and she is like the president.
What?
Welcome to Baldur's Gate.
Lovely.
Yeah, I thank you for the money, and this, but he kind of hushed tones. This is gonna get you mutiny really quickly. You better decide on a captain. And he turns and he leaves.
Which we could have done 5 minutes ago. So we go to the captain's quarters.
All right,
I will stay with the crew.
sounds good. I will mention, had you gone to the captain's quarters, not paid them, they probably all would have jumped ship.
Yeah,
They
I
all
was.
would've
That's
been
why.
gone.
Well, that's the funny thing. Is I
So
wanted
that
to go
was
to the captain's
important.
quarters to be like, "Hey, let's all give him the silver piece." Like that was the
Yeah.
whole thing. So
But there you
Well,
go.
as soon as
You
we would've
had,
gone there, they would've
yeah.
left.
As soon as you were out of sight, they were gonna bail. But now they have money, and so they feel like they're gonna get paid. You guys gave them money. They feel a little bit of loyalty because that's how piracy works. And you head to the captain's quarters.
Okay, we have a ship now.
all right.
Hey,
Now we just need a leader.
no, they.
I do believe that Valhalla should remain to be the leader, as
Yeah,
she
I agree.
showed herself to be
I agree.
the de facto
I have no
power.
problem with that.
Hey, any one of us could have said, "I'm your captain." She
No,
just
she-
stood up.
I removed my vote for none for her.
I do believe that she was the one who made the theatrics that persuaded them the most.
Does that mean I'm second in command?
I would
No.
say.
I would say maybe think less about second in command or captain and more as maybe an emissary or the
I-
voice of the group.
I say we
Do
leave
things
that up
through them.
to the captain.
I would say in this particular moment with a crew, it's very hierarchy is crazy important,
Yes.
and you would know this. So it's for them. They're going to look to one of you
fuck
as
out.
the captain.
Yeah, so they will have one person as the captain, but they will, for us, internally, the shadow government,
So
be the voice of us.
let's take a vote, Captain.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Any opposed? We have majority. It doesn't matter.
Captain? Oh yeah.
What do you think
Valhalla.
this is?
But then, like I said, I'm second mate.
As I said, shadow government.
If I may, I do believe that if we have discussions like this amongst the crew, they will quickly see that she is not the captain, and that is the point, is it not? For her to be the captain. So I would say that while we have discussions like
Well,
these,
yeah,
we should
it's
at least
constant.
learn how to follow the captain and keep some mouths shut in due time.
She will have the last say on the ship. We should pick some officers.
First and last. However, yes.
I will volunteer myself to be the quartermaster.
Maybe we should leave that up to the captain.
Fine, Captain.
Would it be wise for it to be one of us, or I think some of the officers have many there? I'm not quite sure on maritime structure in that sense. Should be maybe of one of the original 11 or the remaining
I
11.
believe the older gentleman we should include.
Also, we still have a mission to accomplish.
Fuck that. We need to. We need to score up who the hell is running this shit before we fuck off and delve into the
Valhalla.
I would
shenanigans.
agree
right?
I would agree with Ignis that the old man should indeed be the first mate, as he knows clearly has
Do
the
we
most
do we get a
insight
name
into
from him?
The most insight.
clearly the most insight into how to
Cockle.
run the ship. That would be my suggestion to the captain.
You have not acquired a name.
He
from
didn't
him.
introduce himself to us. Okay,
No. He was busy
It's a good thought.
that's fine. That's what we-
evacuating
okay.
his
That's
his bowels
thought.
and bladder.
Eye patch man.
But yes. So that being said, does anyone have a sailor background of any variety?
negative.
Of course not.
All right. Does anyone have proficiency in water vehicles?
Negative.
Nope.
Okay.
Wow, look at us.
Usually every other game, but this one.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
right?
So what that means is when you were to sail, if you were to sail, you don't imagine that would be anytime soon, but you would need 20 good sailors with proficiency in water vehicles. The other thing you might imagine you need, besides a captain, is a bosun and probably a couple officers. and you do know that all these things are available for hire. Just the higher tier they are, the more expensive they are once you set sail.
May I have a moment with the crew?
Yes. So as you guys are discussing this, you are sitting with the crew. Most of them have scampered. The 11 are not standing there. They've gone to kind of quarters, but the fellow with the eye patch is there, and 2 others are there with him.
So I have proficiency in persuasion, and
Okay.
I would like to hand him 4 silver pieces, like slide it, and tell him, if you side with me and you if you allow me to remain your captain, I would like for you to be my right-hand man.
I am honored. I am not qualified. I am a simple sailor. I did rigging, but I will do my best to be that. Are your friends not viable right-hand men?
I'd prefer not to speak of their proficiency. I'd prefer for you and I to remain aligned together, and we may sail, we may not sail, but whatever means, I will be your captain, and you shall be my first-hand man.
Thank you. I will do my best to serve.
My name will be Belhala, and what may I call you?
Zacchus.
Zacchus.
Yes. If I may be so bold, we are all sailors. This is a dangerous place without the captain. With him, we're some able fighters. We are not able fighters. If we're to remain here and you are not on board, I think we'll need some guard.
I respect your insight, and I shall converse with my other people, and we shall remain aligned by your side, as long as you stay with us to man the ship.
Of course. We don't have a cook. This would be a first kind of thing. It would hearten the men if you were to get a cook and some food. And
I shall make sure whatever you want
you have
is
been
done.
you have been very generous. I cannot take all this silver. Perhaps some of this to hire the cook and food.
It shall be done.
He'll give 2 silver back to you. Keep the 2.
What a good guy.
Thank you for not killing us.
I frankly was prepared to kill them all.
Thank you for not
Killing them,
kill
instead of
us.
killing them and taking the ship and selling it, we now have an investment.
I mean, we would have 0 people that could sail the ship.
Just remember, fear is respect.
A great
Is
intimidation.
Cook with me, alright?
I mean,
This ship,
Um,
In this
successful
world, yes.
government is different from like
Said funny cook with
what
me,
governs a pirate ship.
I would like to.
this ship would
Swamp.
get us
Just
all
swamp.
Do you-
premium gear.
Do you mind if I use the voice that's still as loud and call the people up to the deck where all the people are?
Yeah, I would say at this point actually probably a minute has passed, but it's a cantrip, so you may cast it again.
I would like to cast it again and call all the people up to the top deck.
All right, you
to
hear
speak together.
Belhala's booming voice to come out of the quarters.
The
What
captain
up?
summons us,
I would-
and I will start heading to the main deck.
Shall we all go to the captain? And I'll follow Ignis.
Of course, we always go right to the captain.
Find a chef for this spec. Maybe his name is Chef.
I would like to allow the man, Zachariah, Zacchus, I would like to beckon him to the front to allow him to speak for his party, to allow him to tell the group what he wants, what he needs, and to allow him to speak for me as the captain to show his respect for me.
Yeah, so he comes up and he says, first, thank you all for not killing us. I'm very happy that I am alive. But my name is Zaccharis. That is Zakarus.
Is that a historical check? Is that a name in reference to any religion?
It just seems to be a common name.
No.
Zakarus. Well, I have to put together a list as some important people. I think is everyone who was with the captain dead.
Oh, you're looking at me.
You were not with the captain.
All of the crew members that were with the captain are deceased.
I
So-
understand.
I do not have a quartermaster. I do not. His list of things was perhaps on him. I don't know. There was. We need a cook, a quartermaster. I assume. By second, do you mean that I am the bosun?
Yes.
Okay. I am the bosun. So. Do they have to follow my orders?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You will. I'm not ready for that.
They shall follow your orders, but if there are questions, they shall refer to me, and then I will converse with you.
Okay.
They shall respect you, though.
Thank you.
How old is this guy by looking at him?
He's
Real
probably 50. He doesn't look like he's had an
real
ounce
old
of
for a
respect
pirate.
in his
He's
entire
done.
life.
He's done.
Like he looks like he's probably just been a crewman on pirates, just beaten down his
Sure.
entire life. He doesn't look like there's an ounce.
You're
Of,
done.
I get
Son.
it. I get it. Yeah, he's done.
So, first a cook and some food, and perhaps a keg of ale. A keg of ale.
I will pull out my journal and start making a list in character as well.
All right, sounds good. I will have to talk to the rest of my men. And for the rest of the list, your men. I'm sorry, for the list. Okay, can I go?
And
You may leave. You may converse.
Okay, he kind of he hightails it.
Well, we have 2 silver that we have now saved away. I don't know how much a quartermaster cook and ale cost.
If
11 per. So for 11 men per person, I forget the exact numbers, but there are living expenses. And so you would choose one of those living expenses that you would want them to have,
Yeah,
and that would be the payment
I
that it
would-
would require per person.
I would suggest someone with a higher survival training to take up the bounty of quartermaster.
You want to get like a hobo quartermaster.
if any of us qualify.
I shall give back Ignis the 2 silver that they gave back
No.
to me.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They gave this back. They said they did not need that much payment.
That's
But I
true
They
to
think
have a ship's cook. It's a very
That was
specific
your
type
silver.
of.
It was
no, you
your
gave me
silver.
11.
That's what I'm talking about.
and there are 11 people, so they each got 1, and then
Correct.
we're gonna give them 4 more.
They gave 4 back.
And he gave 2 back,
Right,
so they're
yeah.
your 2.
Right.
All right. So with that, there are some few beds. If you wish to, I should say there are 5 beds. If you are claiming a quarters, obviously for appearances, captain's quarter, a single bed, but there's a captain's dorm with 4 beds, and then the rest is just kind of.
There was the guest room.
Then there's a guest room, correct? So the rest of you could hole up in the guest room.
I would like to see if any of them want to play Boulder's Bones.
They are all hiding.
Can I look for them?
I'll play with you.
I would say at this point they would even if you played with them, they would let you win, and then all of a sudden they'd have no money,
That's cool.
I'd play with you.
Oh no.
I'm okay
and then
with
they would have no money.
No, I'm cool
And
with
then
that.
they would leave. Then they would leave.
Don't think so little of me. That's
As the individual who has the 17 intelligence, I would say that squalid life expense is 1 silver per day, poor is 2 silver per day, and I assume we don't want to go any above that for that.
Yeah. I'd say pour 2 silver a day.
2 silver a day for that.
So there are 11 of them, so that's 22 silver per day.
Yes, but I mean this might be overthinking. But what would they need? Food. They have housing. They have these things. What would that be?
All
I
of
think
that
that
is
includes the
so that
other
is
2 silver.
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
That is a little bit of money to gamble. That's some alcohol. That's some clothes when they need it. That's just basically what it costs to exist.
Are there bulk discounts on all of that?
Are
So
you
wait.
asking, are there bulk discounts on
So
people?
then, if it's 1 silver to dock, so we have to keep that in mind. 1 silver, and then
Per week.
Then per day, or we want to go by per week, depending on what we want. How much then for 11 people in the poor, squalid area, minus housing?
Is that price? Is that per day or is that per
It's
week?
per day.
Okay. So it's approximately, say, like 5 gold per day for everything that we would need. That's like including paying the people that we currently have, paying whoever else we would get, and then just the extra supplies that the ship would need. Just as like a little bit of like a fluff. So like 5 gold a day plus an extra silver per week. So we're looking at probably 35 gold a week.
We got the full. So
I didn't know he had a
Assuming-
financial background.
That is rather impressive.
Is that the score?
You do know that once you finish your task, you've each been promised 200 gold. That's a handy sum.
Or
we did also just each get full gold from the halfling.
Yes.
or we
So
could
if we pool that and we allow for a week for them to stay in the harbor and to go around Baldur's Gate before we leave the boundaries, we can manage it that way. And then we all keep our own money.
we could also force them all to leave and put the ship up for auction.
That's a good point.
I don't think anyone's going to buy a famous pirate ship.
I would
if
if I
we-
Why
had
sell the ship?
When we get paid the 200 gold, if we each take out 35 of that, that will then give them 8 months of surviving.
But we don't have the gold yet.
Well, that
Eight-
should be an
8
assess then.
weeks.
8 weeks.
Weeks. Oh, they said 35 for the
35 for a week.
of the week. Oh, I heard month.
35 for the week.
So that's then 2 months, 4 weeks, 2 months. So it's 2 months then. If you all take out 35 from the initial 200.
I think we should go day by day.
And then, it's a pirate ship. If you get the rest of the crew and you set them off to loot some ships, it might be self-sustainable. You never know. It's a business.
How about it changes throughout
Business
performance?
Yeah.
But I think that the first thing is to get them set up for the week, because we have a more
stop
important
shaking
task
it.
is find the
There's
dead
beer.
3, and then we get
There you
more
go.
finances from that. But also,
Yeah, there's
no
a
one's
corner
leaving the
glass.
harbor. So all of this is in vain if we don't have the government open up the city.
Yeah.
But who says when we're gone chasing whatever that they don't just take off?
They have alliance. They have no captain now.
Yeah, but
They
they'll
are
have
not.
enough crew.
They are not strong people.
Well, regardless, they can't go anywhere until they open up the city.
Mm.
So, logistics aside,
Right.
becomes kind of a little bit of conversation, and then you realize that you are you're set for the day at the very least. You have a ship, and you have some. It's perhaps, regardless of those sums, you understand you don't have enough money on you, and you understand that you would need to ply some trade or force in order to gain more money. I think that is pretty generally discussed. Your next step then would either be to continue onward and attempt to hunt the Dead Three and their cults, or in the free city of Baldur's Gate, opportunity abounds for ways to make money. And anyone who's here knows that, whether it be in slayings, whether it be in getting involved in crafts or trades, bartering, there's a formidable array of opportunities for money.
I suggest we just follow the con for a bit and maybe mingle into the city for at least a couple days. The ship's already ours.
I believe we have the crest of the most formidable and noble people in the city. If you would all like to explore, I shall stay here with the crew. I am the captain. They shall listen to me. You may gather information, knowledge, and we can move forward from there.
I want to get the ring appraised by value.
That means leaving the ship.
Yes.
So
Wow.
So you
Follow
agree
me.
I shall stay and you all shall go?
Nah.
I know of a good
All that plus one for you.
Unless, can I appraise it myself or no?
I was gonna
Not unless
say.
you have the ability to.
I was gonna
with some
say,
skill
I-
and toolkit.
I know a good fence. You could check that out at.
Fence?
You should have
appraise it.
proficiency in various
Fence
toolkits.
would
Oh.
one who would buy,
If one of them
stolen
happens to
goods.
coincide with magical rings, perhaps you can.
I see. Well, we know where we're supposed to be going next, but we can't go without Valhalla. So, I mean, can we get these gentlemen set with what they need? Is that what we're doing?
We just paid them.
I understand. So, what are we doing? Why are we not taking care of business?
We are. We already paid them. They take care of the
I
ship.
meant the business that we're supposed to be doing, going to get those guys.
There's time.
Mm.
We've got at least another 1.5, 2 days.
If I may provide a suggestion, there are multiple things that we must do or wish to do. Perhaps some of the group can go with Aurelius to appraise the ring. Some others may go and scope out the lair that the Dead Three reside, and others may search for trouble if they so wish. But simply, perhaps we solidify what we have now, and then in the next day we go and, once we have more information, assault the Dead Three.
Well,
We've got time.
We don't have any money to go shopping.
Most of the money
If
is... Indeed, most of the money is up for the ship at the moment.
But there's other ways to make money, and maybe you, someone who's from Baldur's Gate, will know of a way to make some money.
but at the same time, it doesn't take any money to check out a spot, right?
Check out a what?
It's free to roam, right?
Sure, roam to your heart's content.
You want to go piss around a dark spot?
Let's go. Blindfolded and ready to go.
All right, we're gonna go hold up a 7-Eleven. Fantasy 7-Eleven. Here we come.
I just want to make sure that you know if you are to approach the bathhouse. Currently, you're not on anyone's radar.
Who said anything about a bathhouse?
I just want to make sure if you're thinking about if you're thinking about continuing to investigate down that way. Currently, no one is aware that you are hunting the Dead Three. Your names are not known in that sense.
Okay.
However, if you go snooping around, the bathhouse is deputized. There's a good chance that will be set into motion. That being said, those of you that are from the city know a variety of ways to make money. Some of you have contacts. You will all know that there are various opportunities around as bodyguards for patriarchs, for people going to and fro around the lower city, particularly now that it's extra dangerous. There are guard gigs at taverns. It's a gig economy. There's ample ways to make money for people who are
Drive carriages
strong,
around.
fit, and adventurers in particular.
Can we jump right into that? Can we take it?
Yeah,
Well, yeah. So
I will venture down to the local taverns, find local mercenary outfits, and try and listen in for jobs and possible clients.
does anyone go with you?
Correct, I do. Being a rogue.
I believe I will leave the
I like it.
more arcane folk to investigate.
I guess I stay with. I want to go fight with you guys.
Come with. What are you waiting for?
My shit.
Ignis and I can go appraise the ring, and I have an idea what I want to do to make some
Oh,
extra money.
Wild Rose, come with us. You know,
Okay.
we could
Well,
toy this whole
If
game.
you wish to go with them, then I shall stay with these two. I have found some interest in the arcane that I wish to explore.
And I could sure use a date while trying to get in places.
So just to be clear from everybody on the table, where are you going? What are you doing? I'll start with Wild Rose.
I think I'll go with them, although I feel bad about. All right.
We're going to get appraise the ring. It'll take 10 minutes.
No. So what do
I'm
you?
gonna go
what
beat
is
up all
they doing with
the
us?
people for money.
All right.
I shall stay on the ship with the crew.
All right.
And I'll show try to help them with remedial tasks and just be there with them.
Sounds good. Aurelius.
I'm gonna go with these two fine gentlemen to go appraise the ring, and then I do have an idea to make money, and I'll discuss that after.
All right. Orin, you're headed with Aurelius.
To be the muscle, yes.
Ignis, you're going as well.
Yes, I have some goods I'd like to fence.
All right. Egan,
I'm
you're
looking
going
for
with.
I'm looking for small jobs to help fund the effort towards the ship.
Are you going with Wild Rose? Or is that okay? Sterling, you with them as well?
That is correct.
All right. So, as far as arcane sales go,
Or a jeweler.
as far as arcane sales go,
I'd like to go to a jeweler.
You got it from Jared.
okay, you go to a jeweler. So I will not mention that last bit. You'll find it out later. You head to a jeweler. Okay. You're in the lower city, which means there's not a lot of money here. There's not a lot of people of repute. So go ahead and give me an investigation.
Natural 1.
Perfect. You find what looks to be a good jeweler. The three of you head in. Inside, there's various pieces of jewelry. There's a keeper. There's a shopkeep. A couple other people around.
Taking a look at all the other jewelry, just doing a quick browse around. What does approximate values of things? Is it gold? Is it silver?
Do you have proficiency in jeweler's kits or anything that would give you knowledge in that region?
I know the weight of gold. You spoke
Yes,
of this
but
earlier.
you cannot pick these things up.
Do I see silver or do I see gold?
You see all kinds of jewelry.
All right.
However,
How
what I
large
will
is
say
it?
is that you have no way of telling the weight, whether it is real gold, real silver, anything, unless you have some way of appraising if you have that as a proficiency. So what I will say you see is plenty of jewelry.
What do I see for sizes?
All
if I take a
varieties.
look,
Large gems, large pieces of ring. But the impression I'm kind of giving you is that
what value do I think it is, even though I can't handle it and I don't have
Other
proficiency?
price tags?
What price do I think these things are?
everything is kind of haggleable. And once again, I kind of have to give you that if you have not worked with these things, if you have not sold these things, if you do not have proficiency in jeweler's kits, those such things, you don't have a real gauge of the price of jewels and jewelry.
All right.
Remember when I played that jeweler character in our last game?
Do any of the three of you have any sort of skill proficiency in jeweler's kits, in anything that would give you perhaps some sense of the value of these things?
No, I just want to know how much the pearl is worth on the ring. So I assume the jeweler will be able to appraise that for me for a copper, 2 coppers.
I think he just wants to know if he can cast spells to the pearl.
Yeah, it's literally all I'm going.
Okay.
For me, what other people want, that's great. I just want to know the value of the pearl.
Yeah, so that's fine. So you will take the ring up to the person.
Okay.
Once again, I can't give you values or estimates on anything because of the nature of the place. But it all looks quite valuable. It's jewelry. So you'll head up to the shopkeep and present the ring.
Yes.
Okay. And the shopkeep looks and he's looking to sell.
Just appraise.
What you selling?
Not looking to sell.
Nope, just appraise.
RE4.
Silver piece.
For the whole ring or just the band or what?
For the appraisal.
Okay, a silver piece? I'll do that.
I'm just gonna kind of keep my heavy crossbow close to me, just in case he palms this thing and just bails.
Okay. Sounds good.
Leg up.
So he kind of takes a monocle. It has several lenses on it. He puts it on. He stretches his hand out for the ring.
I hand it to him.
He looks at it. He kind of looks it over. And he... Well... He looks at the three of you. And he snaps his fingers, and the door slams shut, and 4 people come into the room. Roll initiative.
Oh my god.
money.
I have advantage.
Blow him up. Blow him up.
16 or 18. Great.
Let's go, 3 of you.
19.
3 of you.
All right.
Nice.
18.
Wow.
Scoop.
10. All right. 19 there. 18 there. I'll take that one, and you can take that one. So the doors will slam shut, and that individual will kind of just like duck behind the counter. Aurelius first.
I am going to, and so there's the man behind the counter, and then 4 people.
Yes.
5 total in the room.
5
besides
total in
us.
the room. Okay.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have sleep?
No. I don't know. He'll say that. That's not gonna work. So I will prepare to dodge.
All right. You take the dodge action. Oren.
Immediately, one of the people who, no, the dude who went behind the behind the counter. I'm just gonna hop the counter and shoot him.
All right. So you hop the counter. First, make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Athletics.
It's like Pulp Fiction.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
It's 18.
Yes.
All right. So you manage to hop over the counter, and on the other side, there is basically a false floor.
Yeah,
So make a dexterity saving throw.
I kind of figured there was. 11.
All right. So you hit the floor and you fall through it.
Yeah.
You hit the ground beneath. It's kind of like just a pit,
Mm-hmm.
no spikes or anything like that, but it's
Sure.
about 7-8 feet down. Plus the jump, you'll take 2 points of falling damage.
Okay.
And so he is above you and you can't see him. He appears to have like ducked behind the counter out of your sight.
Got it. Okay.
So that would be, you've probably got your action left.
I'm going to. So I'm in this pit. Can I perceive a way to get out of the pit?
Climb.
Okay. Then I'll just begin to climb.
All right, sounds good. You use your action. The move is easy enough. It's only 7 feet up, pretty much. You grab and you pull yourself up. You see him. He is under, behind the desk or behind where the counter is, and he's got his hand. He's about to like shut himself in like a little safe house, a little safe door.
Okay. Cool.
With that, the others will act. They will.
Just,
There are 3 of
it
you.
seems like a poor business model.
This is Baldur's Gate.
I
What do
know,
you expect?
but I mean, people are going to be smashing up this shop over and over again.
Daily.
So they will kind of charge forward. They've got clubs. There's 4 of them. 2 will go to you, Aurelius. 2 will go to you, Ignis. The 2 on Aurelius are going to be a 19 plus some to hit, and then a natural 1. So you will get clubbed, Aurelius, for 4 points of damage. And then the other 2 on Ignis, I've got a 15 plus some. What's your armor class?
11.
All right, and a 13 plus some. Both of those will hit. And that will be 2 points of damage from one and 3 points from the other. All right, Ignis, it's your turn.
What kind of armor are they wearing?
Nothing.
All right.
Burn them all. Or do something. I don't know. Kill him.
I don't have an AoE, unfortunately. I will just give him the good touch, shock and grasp one of them.
All
There
right.
you go.
That good touch.
No.
No, it's a miss.
25.
Miss?
Yep.
Was it a natural 1?
That's a
natural
2.
2. All right. Sounds good.
Close enough.
So yeah, you reach out to hit him with the shocking grasp. You're gonna miss. We'll come back around. I will say also on their turn, you would have seen him slam the door shut, and you hear a lock.
Okay. That's fine.
Aurelius,
I will cast Firebolt on one of them.
you are in melee range, so it will be at disadvantage.
then I will take the dodge action.
All right. Sounds good. Next, Orin.
I'm gonna pick out one of the, I'll call them bandits, yes, banditos, and I will shoot one of them on Ignis.
All right. Take a shot.
I'm just behind the counter. I'm up.
Yeah, no, that was throw.
Gotcha. 13.
That'll hit.
Great. Need my D10. 11 damage.
He's dead. So the crossbow bolt sinks into his chest. He stumbles backwards, bleeding on the floor. The
I think it's technically 9, but
next will be them. So one will be attacking you. That will be a hit, as it smacks you with its club for 4 points of damage. And Aurelius, these both will attack you at disadvantage. I think I forgot to give him disadvantage last time. I apologize for that. So you can actually take 1 hit point back. That one will miss, and the second one will miss as well. Or armor class?
15.
Yes, definitely a miss. So they'll swing, they'll miss. You hear the sliding open of another door, like just a shoo.
I do.
Yes,
Got it.
and then it will go to Ignis's turn.
Same thing. 14.
Yes,
Get him.
5 lightning damage.
he'll die.
Are we killing commoners?
Yeah, you touch him, the shocks arc through
They
his
are.
body,
We're not.
smoke out the ears, drops to the ground, just kind of like having a little bit of a seizure.
Moved one of the ones on him to flank.
All right, sounds good. Aurelius.
I'm gonna try and dagger one of them.
Which means,
23.
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
Speak the flurp.
3.
3 points of damage. He's still standing, but barely. Next, we'll go to Orin.
So, can you give me a direction of where I heard that door? Down below? It's like in the pit below?
No, probably next to, straight underneath the counter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I try to break open the part where he closed the door on him?
Yeah. How are you gonna do it? Your options kind of being athletics check or an attack,
Thieves' tools.
unless you have some other.
No, thieves' tools.
Crowbar.
I do have a crowbar.
So that a crowbar will be advantage on your athletics check to do so.
Great. I'm gonna let the heavy crossbow go to its sling, and then I'm gonna pull up the crowbar and just stick it in there and just kind of crunch it open. Advantage. So it's either an 11 or it's a 12.
All right, so you wedge it in and you give it a yank, but no, you hear kind of a of like a steel band. This is reinforced. He's probably used to
Doing this before.
The good old college yank.
But
What?
next,
No.
Nine.
That's something.
two are dead. The other 2 will disengage and bolt out the door.
Okay.
So we'll go to Ignis.
Loot the place.
Assuming anything here is worth anything.
I will run out the door and try to Ray of Frost one of them.
Okay, if you do, you'll be running out into public. There's people around. People may see.
Do it.
They'll see your refrigerator hands.
Come on.
It's daytime, so there's not fog. Pretty wide open. Lower city, there are a lot of people around.
So keep in mind, we're not trying to draw too much attention to ourselves.
I will run over and use the crowbar, try and open the door.
Underneath. All right, so yeah, you can make an athletics check to jump the counter.
Oh, so like both of you are now pulling. Okay.
Absolute trash. Sub 5.
All right, so you go to jump it. You hit your knee as you go to leap over. You yell. You topple down. You almost fall into the pit, but since it was already revealed, not going to make that happen. But I will say with that low of a score, you're not able to get your hands on the crowbar. So, Aurelius, they've just kind of ditched.
I will hop down with them.
All right, you hop over to the other side.
Do you make an athletics check?
Yep, or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
It seems like you can now rob the whole jewelry store.
I just want a pearl guy. Oh, I love
Wrong crew.
You just gave it away.
12.
Yeah, so you managed to make it over. You could, if you would like to, grab the crowbar away from Orin.
And attempt to
Bust the door open.
Sure, I'll attempt to.
It is at advantage because of the crowbar.
Okay.
So that's an athletics check.
Just roll really well.
Nope. 5.
All right.
Oh, advantage.
Yeah, it does have advantage.
Oh, then 8.
8? Yeah, no, it's stuck in there. The bands
Does
just
have
they're
advantage.
holding. Orin.
I think I'm just gonna say screw this door, and I'm just gonna take my short sword and just hack it open.
All right, sounds good. Make an attack roll at it.
18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Great. 3 damage.
All right, it does not seem to damage it at all. You would
Jesus
guess that,
Christ.
given that it's a metal thing, it probably has a minimum threshold.
Right. Well, I figured it was like reinforced, like to keep it from opening, not like reinforced. Like the whole thing's like reinforced, but it's great. I mean, that's fine. I'm excited about this.
Next,
Oh, I am. This is cool.
you hear kind of a yell as the fellow, probably in his haste to get down the ladder that's there, trips or falls or something. You hear the slam of another door.
It's the beginning of a mini dungeon crawl. Is anybody else? Are you guys gonna? Are we staying
Ignis,
in
what are you
initiative?
gonna do?
Yeah.
Crowbar door.
Where are we? Do it.
17.
Not there.
All right.
Yep.
So that will be enough.
We're in the
The
city.
bands snap, and inside there's kind of a metal crawl space. You recognize a very thin layer of lead. This fellow obviously is no stranger to magical items. But it's a crawl space over to a small hatched door, which is shut, and that goes downward. Give me a percentage check.
Percentage.
Ooh,
Yeah.
do you
Who's
want
gonna
some
do that?
dice?
You want to share the load?
Sure.
14.
14 is going to be low enough. In his haste to leave, he did drop the ring, so it's kind of laying there gleaming. But yeah, just right next to the trap door.
Scoop the ring up.
You have now learned the danger of attempting to sell anything magical in Baldur's Gate. When lives are worth copper, things worth potentially hundreds of gold are king's fortunes, and people will risk their lives and others to claim them. Very dangerous, very, very dangerous to sell magical or attempt to sell magical items in the lower city.
How does the hatch open?
So it's
Does
it
it
would
look like it
come
lift
up, yeah. But your guess, this goes down to probably the city's
I
sewers.
don't care about
and,
that.
Yeah.
Is there a short pipe that would fit in this tunnel?
Oh, to
somewhere?
like keep it from opening again?
No, fucking
He
care.
just cuts it off.
You've got your crowbar.
You probably have your own crowbar.
I do not have a crowbar. Time to leave.
All right.
Do we want to skip up anything else from this?
A quick view of the stuff in the shop. It's basically worthless bits of glass, and what initially appeared to be gold is easy as soon as you look a little closer, like wooden bands, like carved and painted. Absolutely nothing of value here.
Well, you killed the guy, so that's at least 1 copper.
Killed 2.
2 copper.
Well,
Proceed.
I will have you guys can make an investigation check really quick though.
no, one of us have advantage, or all 3 of us.
Do most of you have proficiency?
Use this one.
I have proficiency in investigation.
Take it.
Proficient.
Yep.
Take it.
So
Right there. Just
one
take
of
it
you may
right
make
there.
it at advantage then.
14.
That's enough. Digging around under the counter area, you find a small change box. Inside, you manage to find 3 copper and 5 silver.
Nice.
somebody probably purchased a worthless bauble.
Ooh, boobles.
That being said, do you leave the shop?
Yeah.
All right.
Is one of those my silver from before?
He probably has that on him, but you may probably have your silver back. I don't think anyone would argue with you having your silver back. Unless it's the gorilla, in which case you are not allowed to have a gorilla. The rest of you,
Gorilla?
silverback.
Oh.
You're supposed to laugh.
I know.
Thanks,
Hashtag called him daddy.
Do you know where those live?
Probably nowhere near here. But I would imagine there might be some in Chult. There might be some
I was saying in real world, not in
Wherever
What are you
there's a
talking about?
jungle.
Real world? This is
This
the
is
real
real
world.
world.
Yeah, they
Baldur's
live
Gate.
here.
Baldur's Gate.
Who is he?
You might even find some in Am.
You might find some here.
No,
Is that
not in the city.
In
Pronounced
zoo?
Amr.
There are no
do you
zoos
think
in
the
the city.
Cloakwood
I mean,
Forest
here.
would harbor some silverbacks?
So how we splitting each copper?
Exotic.
Score, D.
The rest of you head to a tavern.
Sure. Quick question.
Yes.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Are there any other mercenary groups other than the Flaming Fist roaming about Baldur's Gate that I've noticed in the last 6 months?
No.
Okay.
So there are adventures for hire in various places. There's not the Flaming Fist for
Yeah.
business sake.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, they
yeah.
kick everybody out. No,
Yeah.
you're not allowed. Yeah, but
Yeah. But if you've been here for a while and perhaps you have met anybody or know of people without being too out in the open about any backstories, there may be people who know people.
Yeah.
So if you choose to follow up on that, you can make that move. Otherwise, you're just going to a tavern.
We're going to definitely like a mercenary spot.
Anywhere where in the past a mercenary outfit may have. I just broke my visited.
Yeah, we're trying to get hired for maybe like just a quick shakedown or
just a quick gig.
yeah, just a quick punch someone in the face till they give
Yeah, so the
money.
Baldur's Mouth will often, if you can find one of those, will often have gigs kind of like listed and people to contact. Otherwise,
Boulder's Mouth.
Questions
he's-
on whether or
it's
not
a-
the reports are better than what we could hire somebody for. Maybe we can just whore some people out at the same time.
I feel like if we go to Boulder's Mouth, everybody's gonna know about our efforts.
so Baldur's Mouth, by the way, is a publication.
Yeah.
You can find it on the ground. You can find it at the
Oh,
callers.
we're
They'll
looking at
pass
the
it out.
classifieds.
So literally,
Oh,
it's
good.
there are jobs printed, posted that you can
Anybody
look at
has lost
and
gold?
contacts.
It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, look for like maybe like a lady that needs like us to spy on her husband or
I'm
Maybe someone for like a night.
yeah.
If it pays.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the three of you will give me I'll do an averaged kind of either whatever you like, intimidation, persuasion, performance. Basically what I'm having you do is look at the classifieds, find one that's valuable, and convince them that you're the people for the job.
Persuasion.
So whichever you like, and I'll average the numbers.
No.
Not survival. It's a charisma check. Or it could be deception.
Oh, wait.
Deception, persuasion, intimidation,
I guess I do this one.
performance.
Oh, there it goes.
Everyone has to roll.
Deception is
Everyone.
not
Yep.
charisma.
We're gonna average.
Wait, you said perception?
Not
Nice.
perception, persuasion.
No, any of those. Just
Any
all
of the charisma
charisma.
ones. Yep.
Okay.
All right, so what did you use?
I used persuasion.
What is your total?
14.
14 persuasion. What did you use?
persuasion.
And what is your total?
12.
All right. What did you use?
Persuasion?
All right. And what's your total?
20.
20?
Oh.
All right. So you guys did
46.
pretty well.
46 divided by 3.
I've got it. So you pick up a publication, you go and you head to where They say to talk to
Go
somebody.
a job interview. We're very pleasant.
Exactly. So the patriarchs don't talk to people themselves. They don't come to the lower city themselves. They send a proxy. So you find yourself talking to a fellow who calls himself Greg.
How do you spell that? Gregory.
G-R-E-K-F.
I don't know how to spell my name. I'm barely illiterate.
How do you spell illiterate?
Because it's
Scratch that.
old Greg.
Meta question.
So you're here for the gig.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, Greg.
Tell me about yourselves. Why should I let you
Well,
protect the patriarch?
I've been working as a mercenary for hire and just general tasker for about 10 years. My whole life, really. I work hard. I know how to make copies. I'm really good at data entry.
I'm confused. Why does that have to do with protecting the patriarch?
Well, sometimes those are skills that are important. I also have a very sharp knife.
There you go. All right. And how about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I have experience with protection.
Whereabouts?
You ever heard of
He's just trying to remember his childhood. It's very.
I point at my emblem, and it is a triangle with a what seems like a radiant, burning flame from the inside of it.
Is that like a gang thing?
Have you ever heard of the Burning Dawn? Or fuck, that's what it's called. That's what it's called.
No, is that a local crew?
It's a mercenary outfit, actually.
Oh,
I've worked it my whole life.
I don't really go out of Baldur's Gate. I hire usually from the Masons crew or some such, but...
We're stationed out of Winterfell.
Okay.
You might have also heard us called the Mandalorians.
Right.
Okay. And how about you?
What's the question again? Don't mean to be private, but I was kind of joining
Oh dear.
my memories for
Thanks, guys.
Everwinter and how I used to.
Okay, well I don't care. Your memory
does.
is much older than you look. It'll be a short gig, so it's not that big of a deal. You have weapons, and you can probably take care of it. The Patriarch is coming down to a show tonight. You need to guard him. He's of the Oathun family. You can meet him. We'll meet you at one of the gates. If I remember my gate here, at Manor Gate.
Okay.
And you can do your work. The pay is I hesitate to even offer because the competence does not stagger me. But the pay will be 5 silver each.
For
Okay. Great.
10 gold each, I could tell you exactly where I grew up, but at the same time,
Don't
we're
listen
good.
to him.
He's
Don't
just.
listen to him.
What? You need to not be drunk, okay? No drink, none sauce,
well, we're
okay?
Well, prescribe it as so, I suppose.
None sauce.
None sauce, okay? Do you
none
understand
sauce.
common?
Yeah.
Okay,
quite well.
good.
And not so common.
Well, don't forget your weapon or your name, and don't forget it's the Manor Gate. Okay? Are they okay?
Yes, they're fine. They've just. It's been a. We're really.
I'm sorry.
They've taken a lot of hits to the head,
I've
but
been
that means
sauced.
they've been good at fights.
What I was trying to say earlier was Neverwinter.
You're very pretty, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you also. I appreciate that.
Are you okay
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank
with
you.
them?
They're safe.
Okay. So they'll say to meet you that evening. Like I said, at Manor's Gate. It's an easy gig for you guys. There's enough of you. You'll make 5 silver each tonight.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you're on the ship. With everybody else gone, the crew has like kind of come out of the woodwork. They're terrified of you guys, to be honest.
I would like to use my persuasion and charisma to just mingle with the crowd and maybe use the fact that I got this name down. Got it. It is Zacharias. Is in my good favor. I would like to use the fact that he likes me to maybe persuade the crew to banter with me and share some information. I have an Outlander immigrant status, which means that I do well with people from outside the gates. They have rapport with me. I can speak with them.
Yeah.
I have a good knowledge of everything outside the city.
So Zakar will not be at all offended that you might call him Benji or
What?
or Stacy
He might be Stacy's
doesn't-
mom.
he
he
doesn't
doesn't have the
He does
confidence
have it
to
going
care
on.
about his own name.
know that.
Zakar, but Zachary, whatever you want to call him, he doesn't care. He's okay with it because he's afraid.
ZZ Top.
But that being said, you do while you're a little awkward. You don't typically talk well to people in this situation with less people around. You know your way around individual dealings, and he kind of quickly becomes at ease with you. He'll kind of tell you you're like a holy warrior.
I favor those that deal in the tidings of good.
Yeah. I'm sorry for my life. You should probably just kill me.
Oh.
You are but a pawn in the
Yes,
story
yes,
that
I
we
am.
play.
yes, I am. The smallest of pawns.
You have aided me, and you are valuable, which means that
Oh,
For
I
now?
have no value. I've been told that many times.
Guys, we all have
in your worthlessness, you shall be worthy of my respect for now.
Thank you.
I do not care for your past and your future for now. I own you.
Oh my god.
I'm property, yes. But
You're my dog. Lick the boot.
but please don't.
Are
Please
you a
don't kill
pirate?
me.
Because I want to find the booty.
Please don't kill me.
Come here.
But what is it you want to know? The men are they'll warm to your good nature.
I feel like in your travels, have you heard news of not Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate we all know is not worth talking about, but things around, hearings of things that are anomalies, things that you would not normally hear.
Well, you've heard of the rumors of El Turel.
Some, if you do not mind elaborating on what you know, I would be very in your graces.
Very, very little, but we docked recently. We saw the refugees. We understand that the city's gone somehow. And those Hellrider folks, whatever they are, they've been saying Baldur's Gate is next. We've all been kind of itching to leave before Baldur's Gate disappears as well. But perhaps we're safe on the ship. Perhaps you're safe here, and maybe just the city will be destroyed, and your much more valuable life will be spared if you stay on the ship. But maybe, do you want me to go into the city? Alone, I could just go. Someone would probably cut my throat.
Do not go alone. No,
Okay.
no. You shall stay here with me. The others will be back soon. If you would mind talking amongst the crew and hear anything that they might rumor, what they might say.
Oh, yes. There's a sea monster.
Tell me more.
He lives in the water underneath here. It's actually not very safe to dock in this place for too long, because sometimes entire ships will disappear without a trace, gone. I don't much like coming here, but none of the crew wanted to come, but
The captain.
yeah.
I shall do my part to keep you safe.
Do you know we tried to poison him once?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he must be immortal or something.
He's dead now.
Yeah, did you kill him with magic?
No. Killed him with a glaive and a crossbow.
And beheaded him.
You don't have to tell me of your magic.
If you might talk amongst the crew, hear anything they say, you report to me directly.
Of course.
If you need anything else, do not hesitate to ask. For now, we shall stay ported. I realize that may feel unsafe, but the crew will be back soon with others.
Okay. But are your friends going to be back tonight?
They shall be back soon. You need not know when.
Meanwhile,
I ain't going home ever.
I don't mean to step outside of my station, but do I get a bed in the officers' quarters?
You may take 2 beds and take one with you in the other bed, whoever you deem worthy of your presence.
Weird power play going on, guys.
Hey, Captain. Captain
Okay.
rules.
Okay. Do your friends have places to sleep?
Some will find the streets, drunkards. You don't know very much about them.
Oh,
They'll sleep anywhere.
oh
That's
dear.
messed up.
Okay, I will take one of the beds, and I couldn't take 2.
Then you take one, and I shall find people for the rest.
Thank you.
Get out of here.
So, the 3 of you will not return until early in the morning because the show that the Patriarch wants to go to runs quite late.
all-night rave.
But one thing that you do notice is that actually give me perception checks, all of you.
Happily.
Okay.
Oh.
Everyone or just those
Just
words?
Oh. 9.
16.
20.
Oh.
Hey,
What's up? What do you see?
expertise.
All right, so you'll notice the entire time that this noble seems a little off. They seem like a little frantic, a little bit maybe glancing around. And you said you got a 20?
You got it.
You got a 20? At one point, the noble will slip out of the tavern alone and come back, and he will seem a lot more at ease. He comes back within 10-15 minutes. He has kind of a woozy look about
Wouldn't
him.
I have been like, hey, our person who's supposed to be watching is going away?
Yeah. Go ahead. Just
You
go ahead
could.
and note it and tell us.
Okay, he's leaving, but I mean, he
He
looks like he's going on purpose. I mean, would that give us a chance to kind of just like tail him so we can keep an eye on him like we're supposed to?
Yeah, if you choose to, but it would call attention to a couple other guards that are with as well.
I'll tell you what. I'll go follow him.
Can I stealth behind them, though?
Wait, are you just gonna leave me here?
No? Aren't you fucking off with us?
No, because they'll notice if we go. Okay, I get that. Goodbye.
So,
All right, so he leaves to tail him. Do you leave as well?
I'm staying here.
Okay, you stay.
I will follow.
All right. He loses you very quickly. At the end of the day,
You sure?
the little tattletales will say you left, and you will be shorted on your pay down to a single silver. You will have your 5 silver. But when the noble comes back, like I said, he's kind of woozy. You notice this. He looks like he might even perhaps be a little high.
Well, now we have some information.
It's like Miami in the heat.
I told you all of that. I could see he was high afterwards. I just told you he left. That's all. Anyway.
Yeah. So you guys will come back, but at the end of the night, you have your 1 silver. Egan will have his 1 silver. You will have your 5 silver. The Patriarch kind of meaningfully will actually tip you an extra silver. And so you'll have 6. And the Patriarch will say, thank you for staying
Of course.
and doing your duty as you were paid to do, unlike your friends. Please, You are diligent. You are good at your job. Next time, bring someone who is worth their salt.
I will take your advice. I do take my job very seriously, and I do hope that you give me a decent review in the classifieds.
On Yelp.
Task
Quick question.
Yes.
Who was there monitoring, which then gave thy review?
So there were several other guards other than yourselves that I mentioned, and they were just the patriarch's like house guards.
Anyone notable, like something that could be recycled, or those people that might be there all the time? Question mark?
No, these were the patriarch's official guards, and they would be in the upper city. They would be linked to the family, so they basically are part of that house. So you would be, if you called upon them or mentioned them, they would be known as what was the name of the family that I gave you?
Started with an O.
Yeah, it is the Oathune.
Oh yeah, lost him.
4 of yourself.
And with that, 5 minutes to the end of the stream, I believe we're as far as we're going to get tonight. You return to the boat with your collective 7-8 silver. You return with your collective
Ring. Got a 7 piece.
We
Keep the ring.
You keep the ring.
Keep the ring.
3 coppers, 5 silvers.
3 coppers and 5 silvers, and it was not a terrible
Eight
haul.
piece.
That's not a
Silver to us each.
terrible
Involved
amount of
game.
money.
The copper
Yeah.
killed somebody, so.
Is it 7 or 8?
Well, 5, 1,
6,
It was
7, 8.
5 piece.
I must
Nope.
inform
No.
you.
Is
what
only
you
As
said
you,
earlier.
so what I will say, you kind of missed it, but
Okay.
you
we
guys
pissed
leaving your
off.
post, you got tattled on, and
Okay.
you didn't get the full amount because you didn't do your job.
Okay.
Is
I
basically what
must
they told you.
inform the coming crew. Only 3 of you sleep in quarters tonight. The other 4 sleep outside.
Which fall?
I call quarters.
Well,
Did these 3 make
First
it back?
in will be you
Yeah.
3, so you will have your choice of beds.
Great.
So there's the captain, and then 3. So these 3 will come back and not have beds.
Okay.
Wait.
I'll
Is
sleep
there
with
not there no beds?
So we each get a copper.
Is Cronus question mark?
And with that,
Well, can I?
thank you all so much for tuning in.
Yes.
We're gonna shut down the stream. Hope you guys have had some fun. Looking forward to playing with you all again next week. Don't forget, 7 p.m. Central until 10 p.m. And next time we will see how the Roll North party handles the luxurious bathhouse. Good night.